center field, way back. This ball is a grand slam home run, Darren Daulton.
Hi, I'm Chris Willer. There's no more exciting place to be for a Phillies game than in the broadcast booth. And thanks to Prism, that's exactly where you could be on September the 20th. If your name is selected, you'll win a night out with the Phillies featuring a complete behind-the-scenes tour of that night's Phillies-Marlins game. And a chance to spend an inning with me right here in the Prism broadcast booth. To enter, just send a postcard with your name, address, and phone number to the Prism Booth Contest, P.O. Box 1252, Bala Kenwood, PA 19004.
Deep to left field, fair or foul. It is a fair ball, upper deck home run, Pete Incaviglia.
Send your entries in right now, and I'll see you here for the Phillies-Marlins game on September the 20th.
Are the collars getting a bit on the tight side? Certainly not, say the Philadelphia Phillies. But the Eastern Division Championship will have to be earned, the Chicago Cubs say, pleased to be in the role of the spoiler the last two nights. Maybe the sight of a left-handed starting pitcher like Greg Hibbert will light up the offense, the first lefty they've seen in almost 3 weeks. As tonight, Tommy Green is cast in the role of the stopper once more next. The Phillies face a 1993 nemesis. The Cubs look for their 6th win in a row. It's coming up next. Hi again, everybody. I'm Larry Rosen. Welcome to Phillies Baseball Tonight, exclusively on Prism. You know, over the last 2+ seasons, the Phils and Cubs have played 17 one-run games, and they've almost evenly split them. The only two teams with a +500 record against the Phillies this year, the San Francisco Giant, and tonight's opponent, the Chicago Cubs. In terms of our pitching matchup, Tommy Green looks for a staff-leading win number 14, coming off his 6th complete game of the year against the Reds last time out. Against the much-traveled Greg Hibbert, the first lefty the Phillies will see as a starting pitcher in 3 weeks. And stay with us. Coming up next with their thoughts on tonight's game, Jay Johnston and Chris Wheeler at the vet right after this.
The thrill, the spirit, the excitement, the pride. The officially licensed team rings from Balfour. Each ring is crafted to the exacting standards of each league, and all are made in America of beautiful Balfour Celestrium for the look and feel of real gold or silver. Handcrafted by the same master jewelers who created league championship rings and trophies for decades. When you call to order, we'll send you a picture of your ring and a sizer to ensure your team ring fits perfectly. So call the number on your screen to order your team ring. There's no payment required now. You'll be billed just $19 prior to the shipment of your ring. Then 4 more monthly payments of only $19 each. Enjoy years of showing your team pride right at hand.
Call 1-800-438-6262, 1-800-438-6262.
Well, hi, everybody, and welcome back to Veterans Stadium. The Phillies and the Cubs, game number 3 of this 3-game series, or the 4-game series. A left-hander tonight. First time the Phillies have seen a left-hander in a long time, Jay. The Phillies good against left-handed pitching?
Well, maybe it's a good time because the Phillies have lost 2 in a row to the Cubs, but they play very well here in the vet against left-handers, 17-5, and of course, John Kruk getting the night off, a well-needed rest. Sometimes a batter gets in a little bit of a funk. Kruk that way is in that way lately. He's not hitting the ball well, so Jim Fregosi giving him the night off. Ricky Jordan in, and like I said, they've lost 2 in a row to Chicago. A left-hander on the mound. They play well here against left-handers at the vet, so maybe it's time for them to get a win.
Well, Jim Fregosi says he's giving John Kruk a mental rest tonight. He just wants to give him a night off. We'll be back with the starting lineups coming up right after this.
Phillies baseball is brought to you by Bud Light. If you want great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light. By Mellon PSFS, the official bank of the Phillies. By Bell of Pennsylvania Yellow Pages, no other book can match it, a Bell Atlantic company. By Texaco, save up to $5 by joining Texaco's Frequent Fielder Club. Visit your local participating Texaco location for all the details. Texaco, star of the American road. By Coca-Cola, Phillies baseball and Coca-Cola. Always a hit, always Coca-Cola. By Cento Fine Italian Food, the company that says trust your family with our family. By Jiffy Lube, America's favorite oil change. And by Independence Blue Cross and Pennsylvania Blue Shield Personal Choice, the health plan that controls costs, not people.
Bud Light, please.
Tonight's ladies' night, and there's a special on Bud Light.
If you want great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
Oh, no, it's Ted from accounting.
Do Texaco food marts really have everything?
Oh, they have gum, cheese, candy.
Many reasons I come to Texaco.
Chips, cereals, nice people.
There are many reasons.
You want it, they got it. If they don't have it, you don't need it.
Isn't that candy that pulls apart like that?
Did I skip something?
Visit your Texaco station and food mart for unbeatable System 3 gasoline.
Pop comes here for System 3, and I come here for Pop. Right, Mom?
And just about everything else.
I'd recommend it to anybody. And I would, too.
When Bob borrowed a lawnmower, all he got was short grass. When Bob borrowed hedge clippers, all he got was nice shrubs. When Bob borrowed a ladder, all he got was red shutters. When Bob borrowed a hose, all he got was wet. But when Bob borrowed money, he got indispensable banking services. The Mellon PSFS Smart Accounts. The package accounts for people who borrow as well as save. And back here at Veterans Stadium, here's your Sherwin-Williams starting lineup tonight for the Chicago Cubs, managed by Jim Lefebvre. Dwight Smith leads off in left field. Jose Vizcaíno at short. Brian Sandberg, the second baseman. Mark Grace at first. Sammy Sosa in right. Rick Wilkins behind the plate. Steve Buechele at third base. Willie Wilson in center field. And on the mound, the left-hander Greg Hibbert.
And for Jim Fragosi's first place Phillies, the right-handed lineup is in there. Holland, Stocker, Duncan, and Ricky Jordan at first base. In left field, Pete Incaviglia. In center, Leonard Dykstra. And right, Wes Chamberlain. Behind the plate, Darren Dalton. And on the mound, one of the big Twin Towers, Tommy Green.
Tommy Green, 6'5", 219-pounder. Green, 26 years of age. #1 pick of the Braves in June of 1985. And here we go with the first pitch of the ballgame to Dwight Smith. And Smith fouls it out of play left side. Green 13-3 with a 3.51 earned run average, a career high 13 wins for Tommy. Had one of his best outings ever his last time out against Cincinnati, as he struck out a career high 11, walking 2 and beating the Reds 14-2 last week at Cincinnati. And Green stumbles a little bit.
Yeah, I guess he didn't like the way he was going to throw that one and stop. Well, there's nothing wrong with that. If you don't like it, stop. Field is a little wet, but the groundskeepers did a great job keeping the infield dry.
Ground ball to second. Duncan, a good play. Could he get him? Yeah, nice play. Mariano Duncan to his right and threw out Dwight Smith, one away here in the first inning.
Well, I got to tell you, when the field is wet and you don't get a chance to warm up or run, this is injury time right there. Duncan diving for that ball, but he quickly recovered after a great dive and made a nice throw. Jordan with a nice stretch. And they get Dwight Smith, who runs pretty good. Normally, right off the bat, when you make a quick movement like that at the beginning of the game, you got a chance to pull a muscle. But I guess Duncan did a lot of preparation before this game, because the Phillies did not take batting practice or fielding practice on the field.
Yeah, all they could do was hit in the cages tonight. We had the Police Athletic League softball game here tonight, a big success. I believe those, who was it, the radio newspaper guys beat the TV guys again, or was it the radio TV beat the, whatever.
The TV beat the radio guys.
There's a combination of them. Here's a fly ball to right by Vizcaíno. It was a blowout.
All I know is Don Cannon gave up 32 earned runs.
Well, Don Cannon being on the radio side, so they had to lose to the TV newspaper. Bob Davidson is the home plate umpire tonight. Bill Hahn at first, Larry Poncino at second, and at third base is Angel Hernandez. Ryne Sandberg has hit safely in 18 out of his last 19, but just .333 during that time. Sandberg missing a lot of time early this year after getting his hand broken in the first exhibition game on a pitch by Mike Jackson of San Francisco.
And for you folks that keep tabs on Ryne Sandberg, the fine player that he is, picked up his 2,000th career hit back on July 3rd in Colorado. So Sandberg has played in 10 All-Star games, 8 consecutive ones as he started. And as soon as this guy retires, 5 years later, he'll be in the Hall of Fame.
Good fastball by Green and a swing and a miss. Tommy has good lifetime numbers against the Chicago Cubs. He is 4-1 in 9 games with a 3.51 earned run average. He's made only 1 appearance against them this year, and it was his 1 relief appearance here on opening day. Sandberg fouls away. Tommy pitched 2 2/3 innings that day, 1 hit and 1 strikeout. That was early in the season when Jim Fregosi was bringing him along slowly after he missed, for all intents and purposes, last season with his shoulder problems. And then shortly thereafter, they moved him into the starting rotation. Going to go away with a breaking ball to Sandberg. He does, and Sandberg tops it foul third base side. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Ryne Sandberg with Mark Grace on deck. We're just underway here in the first inning. No score. Game number 3 of a 4-game series. And the Phillies, of course, have lost the first 2 by 1 run after falling behind by 5 in both of them. 1-2 to Sandberg. Fastball and another foul out of play.
Sandberg with a career of 240 home runs in 11.5 years. 235 of them as a second baseman. Has a chance in the next couple years to be the all-time home run leader at second base. Joe Morgan leads that with 266. Roger Hornsby at 263. Joe Gordon 246.
Breaking ball and a weak comebacker to Tommy. He flips over to Ricky Jordan at first tonight, and the Cubs are going in order in the first. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. To the bottom of the first, no score.
Shopping. 9
out of 10 use it. All aboard! The genuine New Jersey Bell Yellow Pages from Bell Atlantic.
Did you know Texaco puts System 3 in every grade of gasoline?
System 3 gets high marks in every grade, which is a lot better than I ever did.
My dad says Texaco puts System 3 in every grade. I'm in the 4th grade.
That's why I always fill up with System 3. What do I look like? Don't say it.
When it comes to performance in cars both new and old,
With System 3, I can get great performance from Beacon Hill to Beverly Hills.
count on every grade of Texaco System 3.
Don't try it with any other gasoline.
I wouldn't.
Who asked you?
And back here at Veterans Stadium, here is your Sherwin-Williams starting lineup tonight for Jim Fergosi's Philadelphia Phillies. Lenny Dykstra in center field, Mariano Duncan at second, Ricky Jordan at first base, Dave Hollins at third, Darren Dalton catches, Pete Incaviglia in left field, Wes Chamberlain in right, Kevin Stocker, the shortstop on the mound, the right-hander, Tommy Green.
And for Jim Lefevre, Chicago Cubs, Steve Buechele at third base, Jose Vizcaíno at shortstop, Ryne Sandberg at second base, Mark Grace at first, in the outfield, Dwight Smith in left, Willie Wilson in center, and Sammy Sosa in right field. Behind the plate, Rick Wilkins, and on the mound, a left-hander that the Phillies haven't seen in a long time, Greg Hibbert.
Greg Hibbert is a 6-foot, 185-pounder. He'll be 29 years of age on September the 13th. Now makes his home in Memphis, Tennessee, born in Mississippi. He was picked by Kansas City in the 16th round, June of 1986, but had his entire professional career in the organization of the Chicago White Sox. Phillies faced him early in the year, and he pitched to a no decision. And Lenny Dykstra, the batter, and the first pitch to Dykstra is over for a strike. Hibbert, a lot of breaking balls and change-ups, a crafty type of lefty. Dykstra, Duncan, and Jordan here in the first inning. Lenny's hitting 5 straight, and he takes strike 2 call.
Hibbert, pretty good walk-strikeout ratio. 41 walks, 63 strikeouts. Decent. Not really a strikeout pitcher, as he's pitched 159 in the third innings.
Well, if he can get the ball to 80 miles an hour, that's going to be a plus for him, because usually they register the gun on him about 78, Chris. And what makes Hibbert so effective, and he's probably been their most consistent pitcher all year long, is the fact that he keeps the ball down and he gets a lot of ground balls. So if you see a lot of fly balls going out to the outfield, then Hibbert's in trouble.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Lenny Dykstra, leading off the first inning for the Phillies. Breaking ball low. Hibbert was selected from the White Sox by the Florida Marlins in the draft, the expansion draft, but then immediately traded to the Cubs for Gary Scott. That was on the 17th of November. That's the same way that Danny Jackson never pitched for that organization, as he was traded to the Phillies that day.
Yeah, he has been a gigantic plus for the Cubs this year.
Lenny Dykstra leading the league in runs with 126. Barry Bonds behind him, and he beats one foul first base side. So Dykstra, as normally does, starts the game by making the pitcher throw a lot of pitches.
And you know, he's been in every game for the Phillies this year.
Been in every game, started all but one, and look at those runs scored.
Yep.
And he works at the 3-2. He was 0-2.
And of course, the thing about Dykstra, he made that comment early in the year that he was going to lead the National League in hitting, and got off to a horrendous start. He was only hitting about 2.25, 230 for about 6 weeks into the season, so he has really had to hit a ton to get his average up over 300.
Might have swung at ball 4 then, and Grace retires him. Dykstra hardly ever swings at a bad pitch, and he might have chased one then. And that'll bring up Mariano Duncan. Duncan has an 8-game hitting streak, and he's batted 400 during that streak. Hit a pinch hit home run here last night in the 9th inning. Talking to him before the game, he said he thought it was foul. I said, so do we.
Everybody thought that that ball was going to be foul, including the right fielder and half the Phillies on the bench.
Happy 49th anniversary tonight to Phil and Mary Borelli from Levittown. Hibbert had a no decision in the Phillies' 11-10 11-inning win on April 18th at Chicago. Mitch Williams won that over Bob Scanlon. There's a base hit to left field, and Duncan has now batted safely in 9 straight ball games.
Also coming into tonight, he had a career average of 303 off left-handers, so he really likes to see left-handed pitching, and maybe that's what the Phillies need. They got to get something going, because the last 2 days they've always been hitting from behind. Cubs have jumped out in both those games with early leads. Phillies have had to play catch-up baseball.
Ricky Jordan getting a start tonight, batting .319 here at the Vet this year. This is his 19th start of the year. He has 4 homers, 10 RBIs in his other starts. Jim Fregosi saying Kruk just needs a night off, and he's going to give it to him tonight off Hibbert. And a pitch over in the outside corner for a strike. John Kruk hit a couple of home runs off Hibbert in the game at Wrigley Field earlier this year. Oh, and 1 to Jordan. Breaking ball and a big swing and a miss. Ricky's last start was on the 29th of August against the Cincinnati Reds, so he hasn't gotten many chances to play, and he's only had 128 at-bats this year. Off-speed pitch, beaten foul. Ricky's in one of those I'm not going to rock the boat modes right now, the way this club is going. I'm sure he wouldn't want to go through another year like this, but with the Phillies winning the way they have all year, him contributing, you don't find too many players on this team that are going to cause problems.
Well, I would hope not. And also the fact that with the Phillies winning, getting into the National League Championship Series possibly, and the World Series, it'll raise Ricky's stock up a great deal.
Tapped off the end of the bat right to Mark Grace, who bobbles but steps on the bag. Duncan moves down to second. 2 outs, and Dave Hollins will bat.
As we mentioned, or Chris mentioned earlier, the Police Athletic League had their game out here, and it rained a whole lot through the afternoon, but Ralph Frangipani, the head groundskeeper, and his great crew kept the field pretty much dry on the inside part of it. The outfield's fairly wet, but looks pretty good from up here right now.
Dave Hollins, the batter, batting at .276. Collins 338 against left-handers, 244 against right-handers. And now they have to get together on the signs with a runner at second base, different signs. And Hibbert and Wilkins want to talk it over.
You know, the pitchers that give the Philly hitters a lot of trouble are off-speed pitchers, change-up pitchers, change-of-speed type pitchers. This is the kind of pitcher that Hibbert is. You're not going to see him throw a ball over 80 miles an hour. You're going to see a lot of off-speed pitches. You're going to see some sinkers. You're going to see some cutters. And he's really going to try and keep the ball down and away on right-handers and inside the left-handers.
And it's grounded towards the middle. Vizcaíno boots it. Duncan scrambles back to third, and we'll see how they score. Vizcaíno got to it in plenty of time and just didn't catch the ball.
That's got to be an error because he had a chance to throw Hollins out. I think he took a peek to see where Hollins was going. Hollins hit the ball right on the money, but the ball was sinking away from him. Now, this is where Hibbert excels. He sinks that ball outside. As you can see, that Vizcaíno kind of peeked double it, trying to regroup and see if Duncan went past third base, but alertly, Boa had Duncan stay right there.
Darren Dalton, the batter, at 257, 0 for 2 this year off Hibbert. And the pitch to Dutch is hit high in the air, popped up shallow right field. Sandberg going out, waits and squeezes it. Phillies are gone here in the first inning. They still have not scored that ball that Hollins hit. So I don't know what to give you on totals. After the inning, it's 0-0.
It's often taken for granted, yet it's as precious as the very air we breathe. It's called freedom. And it's what inspired Independence Blue Cross and Pennsylvania Blue Shield to create the new Personal Choice, a health plan that offers people the low costs of an HMO without asking them to give up what they value most, their freedom. Personal Choice, the health plan that controls costs, not people.
Presenting the RCA 52-inch projection screen home theater. It's bigger and brighter than almost anything out there.
RCA home theater products at Bryn Mawr Stereo, where we sell Goosebumps.
The Phillies look to flatten Florida when they play the Marlins Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, September 20th through the 22nd, all at 7:35. Then they're out to bop the Braves. Friday the 24th at 7:35, Saturday the 25th at 7:05, and Sunday the 26th at 1:35 when all fans receive a free Phillies poster and more on Fan Appreciation Day. Call 463-1000.
Hi, folks. If you like Italian food, you're going to love Cento food products. And another reason you're going to like them is because for every Phillies home run this year, they've donated $200 to the Philadelphia Child Guidance Clinic. Already, they've given the Child Guidance Clinic $28,800 on the Phillies' 144 home runs. And all you have to do, if you like that product, go right into your grocery store and look up on a shelf, and you'll see over 100 labels on different products that they carry. Great Italian food.
Mark Grayson, the batter, 5th in the league at hitting, and with his .328 average. He's hitting 17 out of his last 19 ball games at a .378 clip. Breaking ball from Tommy Green. He gets it over, 1-1. It'll be Grace, Sosa, and Wilkins here in the second inning. No score.
This is the kind of guy, Chris, you got to pitch in and out, up and down. You can't pitch him the same way twice. He's too good a hitter. He's got too good a swing.
And he popped him up left side. Phillies have been fortunate in this series that they've been able to get Grace and Sandberg out as Stocker squeezes it, but they still have lost 2 games to the Cubs because the bottom of the lineup has killed them.
Well, that means the pitching hasn't done the job. When you get your main guys out, you should be able to hold them, but the pitching has faltered a little bit in these 2 games against the Cubs. And the Philly hitters have had to try and play catch-up baseball, what is not exactly the ideal way to have to play, especially at home.
Sammy Sosa at 264, up among the league leaders in homers. With those 31, Sosa trying to become a 30-30 man, the first time the Cubs would ever have one. He pops one up right side out of play to the crowd. Crowd held down by the weather. As Jay mentioned, but he knows there are quite a few showers in the area all day. It looks like a few people decided not to make the trek down here, even though they might have had tickets. Still a good crowd on hand. Pleasant night. Starting to feel a little more like fall here at Veterans Stadium. It's supposed to get cooler over the weekend. No balls and a strike on Sammy Sosa. It's outside.
And you know this young kid's only 24 years old. He'll be 25 on November 12th. So he's got all his best years ahead of him.
Sosa, another former Chicago White Sox, as he hits that one on one hop to Kevin Stocker, who throws him out. 2 up and 2 down here in the second inning. If you're looking for great movies, keep your TV tuned to Prism this month for movies like Unlawful Entry with Kurt Russell and Madeline Stowe, Single White Female with Bridget Fonda and Jennifer Jason Leigh, Under Suspicion, Liam Neeson, and Light Sleeper with Susan Sarandon and Willem Dafoe. Just some of the great movies coming your way this month on Prism, the channel with a better variety of movies.
Boy, if they're playing tonight, I'd be right home watching it, sitting right on my couch.
There are a few good ones in that group right there. That Single White Female is a good movie. Rick Wilkins, a batter. What a year he's having. 26 home runs, 61 runs batted in. Only Cub catcher to ever hit more homers than Rick Wilkins is the legendary Gabby Hartnett.
And you're going back a few years when you mention that name.
Jody Davis and Wilkins were tied for a while, and then Wilkins went by him.
I saw Steve Lake tonight. Said, "What, aren't you catching tonight?" I said, "No, I catch once a week, get my home run. That's enough." As we see an updated score on the Montreal-Colorado game. You know, you just can't watch a scoreboard when you're playing at home. You got to go out and do it yourself.
Especially when you're playing when the other team's playing the expansion team.
Yes.
You have a pretty good idea they're going to win most of those games. Bouncing a breaking ball up there is Tommy Green. 2 balls and 1 strike. To Rick Wilkins.
It's amazing how you see a lot of hitters today starting to choke up on the bat and still hit home runs and show power. Barry Bonds has done it for a number of years. You see Wilkins choking up a good 1.5 inches on the bat, and you see how many home runs he has, 26. So a lot of people thought that when you choked up on a bat, you were just a line drive, kind of a punching Judy type hitter. Well, these guys have thrown that comment out by the wayside.
Fouled away. Gabby Hartnett hit those 37 home runs, which is a Cub record for catchers back in 1930.
Well, you know what, those home runs they had in this trip here, the Cubs have jumped right up there. As Wilkins takes this one outside. Giants lead. I'm sorry, the Giants lead the National League in home runs, and Atlanta's second with 145. Giants 146, and then the Phillies are third with 144, and the Cubs have 140.
Steve Buechele, the batter, has batted safely in 5 straight. As Rick Wilkins draws a 2-out walk. Base runner number 1 for Chicago. On deck is Willie Wilson, the switch hitter. Off the end of the bat, a base hit into center field. Wilkins will stop at second. So the Cubs have 2 on with 2 outs for Willie Wilson.
Happy birthday to Roy Dempsey of Woodland, PA. He's 50, and R.E.R.E. Manning of Glen Olden, he's 40. Riri, is that what it is? How about happy birthday to Mary Stouffer of Springfield? She's 70 today. Congratulations, all you people, and especially Paul Reimer Sr. He's 80 from Whitehall, PA. Congratulations, everybody. Happy birthday.
Wilson, a switch hitter, 242 from the right side. 269 left-handed and 256 overall. Wilson came into this series with just 6 runs batted in. He got a home run the other night and a 2-run double last night, so he now has 9. And he's batted safely in 4 straight. He was not in the original lineup last night. Roberson was supposed to play. He had an allergic reaction and wasn't able to make it. And Wilson helped out his ball club. Green throws a good fastball right by him. No balls and 1 strike. Happy 73rd birthday tonight to Ed Titterton of Roxborough. As the count on Wilson is 1-1. Rick Wilkins, the runner at second base. And over at first, Steve Buechele now has a 6-game hitting streak. Cubs have won 5 in a row for the first time in the 90s, it says. Check that. September contest for the first time in the 90s. I knew that wasn't right. I wrote that down too fast. And 5 games in a row is their longest winning streak of the season. Wilson swings and misses. Wilkins wandered way off second base then, but everybody playing way back with 2 outs. Nobody was covering, and I think Chuck Cottier is telling Wilkins, whoa, whoa, whoa. You know, we want you to get a good jump off there, but not that good.
Especially the way he runs.
That's a base hit for Willie Wilson, and the Cubs will break on top 1-0 here in the first inning. They get 2 outs and nobody on base, and Wilson loops a single to center.
Well, we've said a lot of times walks really come back to haunt you. 2-out walk to Rick Wilkins, and he ends up scoring a couple of base hits later. This is not exactly a smash, but it gets the job done. The ball was running away from Wilson. He hit it off the end of the bat, but still winds up with a base hit RBI.
A very wet AstroTurf here tonight, and anything hit hard is going to have a chance to scoot by the outfielders. Now, that wasn't hit hard enough to get by Lenny Dykstra. So the Cubs have a run in. Runners at the corners and 2 outs, and Hibbert fouls it off. Hibbert is 4 for 50 on the year. That's an .080 mark. He's knocked in 1 run. There you see the numbers on the pitcher. His first year in the National League. A walk, a bloop single to center by Buechele, and another bloop by Wilson. And the Cubs are on the board. And they lead once again. They have been leading throughout this series. Green's pitch to Hibbert misses inside. 1-1.
You know, sometimes I wonder when pitchers hit as bad as we see the numbers here on Hibbert, why they don't try and bunt, maybe drag a bunt or something. I mean, it can't do any worse, can they?
No.
And especially when you got the infielders way back, even though there's 2 outs, you know, you may be able to drag a bunt down, get it by the pitcher, you may have a base hit. I know pitchers don't want to do that. They want to swing the bat. But, you know, if you're hitting .080, I think you got to try something different, especially when you got a chance to drive in a run and help yourself.
Crowd getting a little restless now as Tommy Green overthrew that pitch to the pitcher, who he certainly needs to get out here with Dwight Smith on deck. Good hitter. Oh my.
I think he tried to aim that pitch or something. He didn't have any, he wasn't sharp, didn't have any velocity on it. Usually Green has some velocity on the ball and it's down.
That's a strike. So the runner Willie Wilson will be off at first. Ricky Jordan reminding Tommy Green that he's going to play off as Jim Fergosi looks on from the dugout. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Hibbert. There is Jordan playing off Wilson. And there he goes, and it's fouled away out of play left side.
How about our producer Larry Rosen today in that PAL base softball game, making an over-the-shoulder Willie Mays type catch in center field?
We may have that later.
Will we?
I don't know. I can't believe we won if he's in the truck.
Unbelievable catch.
3 balls and 2 strikes now on Hibbert. The pitch to him is fouled away again. Tommy Green looked like he was going to have a real easy second inning here. Grace popping up, Sosa grounding out, and then a walk to Wilkins, a single to Buechele, single to Wilson, a run scoring on that, and now 3 balls and 2 strikes to Hibbert. Struck him out on a high fastball. Cubs get a run in the inning on 2 hits, no errors, 2 left. We go to the bottom of the second, 1-0 Chicago.
When you work one job, grab a quick lunch, a quicker dinner, and move on to job number 2, how you gonna spell relief? That's a big relief you can feel, because Rolaids absorbs 47 times its weight in excess stomach acid to stop heartburn fast. So for millions, there's only one way to spell 100% relief. Rolaids spells 100% relief.
Yeah, how far away do you think I can get in 72 hours?
I wouldn't trust my car past the city limits.
For the way you travel today more than ever, the Smart Money is on budget. Plan a great getaway by giving Budget a call. You'll get great rates on great cars. The Smart Money is on budget.
Hi, I'm Neil Hartman. Budweiser and the Phillies want to send you and a guest to the World Series. Right now, be the 5th caller to 1-800-432-1745. And you'll win a Budweiser sports bag and a replica Phillies cap. All winners then qualify for the grand prize, an all-expense-paid trip to the first 2 games of the World Series in the host American League city. So call now and pack your bags, because with a little luck, you could be on your way to the first 2 games of the World Series, compliments of Budweiser.
You'll get a great-looking Phillies poster free, compliments of Acme, plus plenty of fun surprises when the Phillies play the Braves on Fan Appreciation Day, Sunday, September 26th at 1:35. Reserve your tickets now. Call 463-1000.
Hey, there's still plenty of time to reserve a roster spot for the Phillies Dream Week this winter in Clearwater, Florida, but you got to act soon. First week's already sold out. There's the number right there on your screen, 938-1200. You're going to see some magical names down there like Maddox and Wheeler and Boa and Lazinski and Hebner and Cash and Takovi and all kinds of people.
Here's Pete Incaviglia getting a start tonight. Incaviglia at 280. What a solid season he's having with 23 homers and 83 runs batted in. Here's that changeup and a swing and a miss. He's hitting .422 in his last 14 games, 3 homers and 12 runs batted in. By the way, in the first inning, the ball hit by Hollins was scored an error on the shortstop Vizcaíno. So the Phillies have no runs, 1 hit, and no errors. The Cubs a run on 2 hits and 1 error. We are in the second inning. I'd like to wish a happy birthday tonight to Jane Ramavilla. Got a note from her husband Anthony saying it's pronounced just like Incaviglia. Number 65 for Jane from Ben Salem. And another off-speed pitch misses outside, 3-1.
You start putting the numbers together that Incaviglia's put up on the board and Milt Thompson has put up on the board playing left field. And what a season left field has had. 27 homers, 124 RBIs. Whoops. I guess Pete didn't like that one. Looked a little low to him.
But not to Bob Davidson, so the count is 3 balls and 2 strikes on Pete Incaviglia. He'll be followed by Chamberlain and Stocker. And the 3-2 pitch. Change up, beat to third. Bouchel throws him out, 1 away.
Nice pitch by here, but he started him off with a real slow curveball on that 3-2 count. Incaviglia a little bit out in front of it, just topped it. Watch the location on this. Starts it outside, the ball breaks on the back part of the plate. Incaviglia off the end of the bat. Bouchel actually has to hurry his throw a little bit because it was hit so softly.
A lot of breaking balls and changeups from Hibbert, throwing one there, 3-2. Chamberlain, the batter, at 280. West hits very, very well against the Cubs. Has 8 career homers against Chicago, his most against any team. West is a native of the city of Chicago, grew up on the south side as a White Sox fan. Hibbert, a quick worker. Fly ball deep left field. This ball's out of here. Another home run for Chamberlain off the Chicago Cubs. His 9th home run off Cubs pitching and his 12th of the year, and it's tied at 1. And Jay, that looked like it might have been a changeup the way he went down and got it.
It was either a change or a change curveball as Chinto coughs up another $200. They are giving the money away. Chamberlain's 12th home run. We'll show it to you one more time. Hibbert, you can see him squeeze the ball. It's a breaking ball. It does not get down and in. It's in Chamberlain's wheelhouse, and boy, does he unleash on this one. That ball just rocked out of here.
So the Phillies used the long ball to tie the game, and here is steady Kevin Stocker at 343. And he takes a pitch down low.
I'll tell you what, Chamberlain's got better stance against the Cubs than Bo Derek has.
Yeah, he likes hitting against that. Well, he wasn't a Cubs fan. He didn't like him. He was a White Sox fan growing up. Little looper in the left center. That's going to drop for a hit. Stocker on with a base hit. That's the Phillies' third hit in the ball game, and Stocker's now hit in 20 out of his last 24 games.
Another off-speed pitch, the trademark of Hibbert, as you can see. That might have been a straight change. Stocker waited a little bit, hit it off the end of the bat, similar to Willie Wilson's hit, but it ends up a base hit anyway.
Tommy Green, the batter, has 6 sacrifices on the year. See if he's up there to bunt. Green, a .200 career hitter, hit a home run last week in that good outing he had against the Cincinnati Reds. Hit it off Kevin Wickander, the left-hander. He is around to bunt, and he takes it outside, ball 1. Mark Grace charging hard from first. Bouchel from third. Well, we'll see if they take it off. Let him swing the bat. There he goes, and it's a swing and a miss. Wilkins' throw is not in time. Vizcaíno was late covering.
That's exactly what happened. You got that one right on the nail, head partner, because Wilkins had the ball in plenty of time, but he had to wait till Vizcaíno got over there. And as you can see, he's got a very late start. He has to reach for the throw, and Stocker's able to get his foot in before he can tag him.
Like they were playing hit and run then.
Yep.
We mentioned that they might take it off because of the way the first baseman, third baseman were charging, and Green got the hack away. Stocker with his 5th stolen base in 5 attempts, and Green takes it on the outside corner for a strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Green can put the bat on the ball, so I'm not surprised that Jim Fregosi has taken the bunt sign off, because Green doesn't strike out very often. Except for this time.
Yeah, well, he'll be the first to tell you that he's not a good breaking ball hitter. And Hibbert flips that curveball up there, and he swings and misses, and that's the first strikeout in the game for Greg Hibbert.
Not many pitchers are, and watch the break on this curveball. A big breaking curve.
And Dykstra, the batter. Lenny grounded to first his first time up. Lenny leads the majors in runs scored, 126th, the National League in walks, 115. And he has hit safely in 5 straight. Base hit center field. Stocker's going to be waved around and score. Wilson's throw is late, and it's 2-1 in favor of the Phillies on an RBI base hit by Lenny Dykstra. Now has a 6-game hitting streak and 50 runs batted in.
Well, you said it all year. Dykstra, the catalyst of this team and probably the most valuable player, delivers in the clutch. Normally, on the base hit to center like that, the ball would be cut off by the first baseman, Mark Grace, but Grace looked over. Dykstra was not making any attempt to go to second base, so he just let it go through, but he really didn't have a chance on Wilson's throw to get Stocker.
Duncan, the batter. He got a base hit his first time up. A big sweeping curveball over for a strike to Mariano Duncan. Duncan his 9th homer of the year last night. He's knocked in 63. He's now batted safely in 9 straight at a better than 400 clip. Swing and a miss, off-speed pitch. Duncan has really torn up the Cubs this year, batting. Well, he was batting .440 coming into the game, and 1 for 1 tonight.
Of course, nothing like a big 2-out hit by Dykstra to give your team a little bit of uplift.
Phillies have not had many leads in this series. In fact, have they? Yeah, one time.
They had one in the first game, right?
And they've been battling from behind this whole series, and now they take a 2-1 lead here in the 2nd inning. And And they count no balls and 2 strikes on Duncan with Dykstra at first base. Struck him out on a good changeup. So down on strikes goes Duncan. Strikeout number 2 for Hibbert. Phillies in the inning pick up 2 runs on 3 hits. No errors. They will leave 1 through 2. It's 2-1.
Come on, let's get a cold one. Our total attendance for today's game.
Oh, would you look at this beer line? I'm going to go back.
What? Foul ball? No, I'm not.
Foul ball! Foul ball! Foul ball! Out the way! I got it!
If you want great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down,
make it 2 Bud Lights, please.
Make it a Bud Light.
Hey, you got another ball?
Introducing a Honda rarity. Well, it's more of an unusual occurrence. Actually, it's never happened like this before. Definitely out of the ordinary. As a matter of fact, we've never uttered these words before. And though it's our first, at these prices, they're not gonna last.
The Phillies' drive to the playoffs continues with a game against the Astros, live from the vet, Friday night at 7:30, exclusively on Prism.
You'll get a great-looking Phillies poster free, compliments of Acme, plus plenty of fun surprises when the Phillies play the Braves on Fan Appreciation Day, Sunday, September 26th at 1:35. Reserve your tickets now. Call 463-1000.
Well, on this Sunday, the Houston Astros will be here, and it's Backpack Day at 1:35. Great back-to-school gift for all fans 14 and under, a red backpack with the Phil's logo. What a way to show your Phillies colors. Compliments of Campbell Soups. Call 463-1000 for your tickets. Stop by any of the many local Ticketmaster outlets here in the area. Backpack Day on Sunday. Dwight Smith leads it off the top of the order for the Cubs. He grounded to second his first time up. Now, what the Phillies need from Tommy Green after they take a rare lead in this series is to shut him down and get a well-pitched game here tonight.
Better yet, they have to have a well-pitched inning.
Happy birthday tonight.
Two.
I'm looking here. Wait a minute. Swing and a miss.
Boy, you're looking at that.
There's a long letter here, and I'm trying to find the name I'm looking for.
How about Dwight Smith down in Florida on August 12th? He sang the national anthem right out in front of all these people. So you got a multi-purpose guy here.
And we've seen him do that at Wrigley Field. Tries to check on a breaking ball and cannot. Consecutive strikeouts for Tommy Green. He now has 2, 1 out here in the 3rd.
Great pitch by Green. You can see the breaking ball, and Smith way out in front. He tried to hold up. It was too late. Smith looking fastball all the way. It was way out in front of that off-speed pitch.
Here's Vizcaíno, hit a fly ball to left his first time up. This birthday is Tina McGinley, graduate of Marple Newtown High School. Got a nice note from her mom, Tina, Mr. and Mrs. John McGinley. And Tina is a great Phillies fan. Recently married, well, married last year, and just loves to come to the ball games or watch them on TV. So happy birthday, Tina. Congratulations to all those MN graduates.
Talk about a guy that's versatile for the Cubs this year. Vizcaíno has started 61 games at short, 27 at third, and 26 at second base coming into tonight. So tonight it's his 62nd game at shortstop.
Hard ground ball foul first base side.
Guess you could say he was the Mariano Duncan of the Cubs.
He's done a good job.
Hey, I got a happy birthday to Nina Ferragalli.
By the way, Tina's name now is Reed.
Wow.
I want to make sure I get that right. Tina Reed.
Is that what it is?
Yeah,
well, I got Nina Ferragalli. Looks like Murray. And her birthday's Thursday night, but since we won't be on the air, we'll put it on tonight. Happy birthday, Nina Ferragalli Murray.
2 balls and 2 strikes now on Vizcaíno. Breaking ball, check swing foul, first base side.
I thought I did this one, but I better make sure. Robert Ferry, 59 years old from Philadelphia. It's also his birthday today, so if we did it twice. If we didn't, happy birthday, Robert.
And a souvenir for those fans down in the deluxe box area.
Yeah. They'll take that home tonight, put it on the mantle.
Another check swing. This one's fouled out of play left side.
Speaking of mantles, I had a friend call me today. Says, "Hey, I got a Mickey Mantle rookie card for $36,000. You want it?"
36,000.
36,000. A Mickey Mantle rookie card.
That's not yen either, is it?
I don't think that Prism could afford that right now.
Got him. Good fastball by Tommy Green, and Green starting to pick up the strikeouts, 3 in a row, 3 in the ball game for him.
Great location on this pitch. As Green starts it on the inside part of the plate, it comes back a little bit just over the inside corner. Vizcaíno can't handle that pitch.
Tommy Green at 50 pitches. Threw 127 in his last outing, a complete game against the Reds at Cincinnati. Fastball on the outside corner, strike called to Sandberg. Ryan grounded back to Green his first time up. The 0-1 pitch outside. Addition of coming home after this half inning as Larry Rosen will visit with Ruben Amaro. This was Pal night here at the vet, and Ruben, a former Pal kid. Outside. 2 balls and 1 strike on Ryan Sandberg. On deck is Grace. Sandberg hits it deep right field. Back goes Chamberlain. He has room at the track and makes the play. And out in order go the Cubs. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. Time now for another edition of Coming Home. Tonight, Larry Rosen visits with that gentleman right there, Ruben Amaro Jr. From Phillies bat boy to Phil's outfielder.
Few young Philadelphians have had a homecoming to compare with that of Ruben Amaro Jr. This 1983 graduate of Penn Charter High School in East Falls, Ruben dreamed of a career as a professional athlete, as a soccer player. But a memorable summer spent in the Phillies clubhouse of 1980 helped to foster a new dream.
Being around the clubhouse during that time when my father was coaching with the Phillies was a time where I really got the chance to learn about the game, because I hadn't really studied the game, or, you know, I just played and really enjoyed it, but I got a chance to really to study the game and try to understand the game. I got a chance to be around some guys, Schmidt and Boa and Boone and Carlton, and, you know, there's a bunch of guys that you can really learn a lot about baseball from. So it was a great opportunity for me to learn about the game, and it was probably the impetus as far as me wanting to become a baseball player. At that point, I was kind of on the fence. I'd played soccer, played some baseball and stuff like that, and I really decided to try to make baseball a career after spending some time in the clubhouse.
He left as a starry-eyed teen and returned as a man. After 4 years at Stanford and 4 more in the California Angels minor league system, Ruben has finally come home, where he's been embraced by Phillies fans with open arms.
Nice piece on Ruben Amaro as Ricky Jordan leads it off, followed by Dave Hollins and Darren Dalton. Ricky grounded to first his first time up, as he saw a steady variety of change-ups and breaking balls. Tomorrow night will be on PHL 17, and then Friday night the Astros come in on Prism, on Saturday night also. There's another change-up, hits it off the end of the bat to Sandberg, throws him out. Jordan's and these right-handed hitters are going to see a lot of change-ups from Hibbert.
They are. I want to say congratulations to Byron. He's been one of the vendors here selling soft drinks for 31 years. Congratulations, Byron. You've been doing a great job hanging around, serving the Philly people. 31 years. Also works at for the Eagles, too.
Going from Coke to Coke Classic to Diet Coke.
Unbelievable.
No caffeine.
Way to go, Byron. 31 years of service here with the Phillies.
Hollins takes a strike called. Happy birthday tonight to Bill Harley of Bryn Mawr, and happy 37th wedding anniversary to Bill and his wife Florette. They've got a nice note here from the Harley children. Hollins jumps out at an off-speed pitch. They are not going to see many fastballs in the strike zone. That's pretty obvious. A lot of changeups and curveballs from Greg Hibbert.
Well, one of the main reasons, if you were to put Hibbert's fastball on the expressway, it wouldn't get stopped for speeding, that's for sure.
Hibbert 41 and 34 in the American League with a 3.78 earned run average, his first year in the National League. There's another changeup, and he swings and misses and strikes out. Strikeout number 3 for Hibbert.
This one looks like he turned it over a little bit on Hollins. Hollins likes that ball up and in a little bit from the right side. You can see the downward breaking away from Hollins. Very tough pitch to hit.
Saw last night, Phillies dazzled by that pound ball of Guzman's as we look at the RBI leaders as Darren Daulton steps in tonight and having a little trouble with that changeup from Hibbert. I guess there aren't many teams in the league that aren't fastball hitting teams, especially the National League.
The National League, you're right.
Both those guys spent their careers in the American League. Both Guzman and Hibbert have come over here throwing a lot of off-speed pitches. Been fairly successful with them. Daulton gets jammed, and they're going to need Hibbert. And did he get there in time? Just in time. Grace left too soon and was hung out to dry, and Sandberg led Hibbert perfectly. 4-1 on the hiccup. 2-1 Phils. 2.5. 3.
We're going to have to bail.
What about the Bud Light?
No time. There's only one left. You take it.
I'll never forget you.
If you want great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
Not so fast. Yeah.
The Phillies look to flatten Florida when they play the Marlins Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, September 20th through the 22nd, all at 7:35. Then they're out to plop the Braves. Friday the 24th at 7:35, Saturday the 25th at 7:05, and Sunday the 26th at 1:35 when all fans receive a free Phillies poster and more on Fan Appreciation Day. Call 463-1000.
The metal cylinder is secured and turned in a counterclockwise motion, causing the internal railing to rise and disengage. It's easy to make something as simple as opening a jar complex. The challenge is making the complex simple. But that's what we do at Bell Atlantic Mobile. We take cutting-edge technology and place it comfortably in your hands. Bell Atlantic Mobile. Advanced technology and people who make it mean something.
Back here at Veterans Stadium, Gary Maddox's a little upset with Tony Irving, and nice job as an umpire tonight.
Oh yeah, I got my inning and a half in and was relieved. I thought we did a good job out there.
Think of all these off-speed pitches tonight from Hibbert, a fastball hitting team that like the Phillies.
That plus being left-handed, I mean, I think the Phillies are going to take some time to get used to seeing left-handers again. It's been a while, and you just don't go up there and make those types of adjustments in one at bat.
Phillies lead the game 2-1 as we go to the 4th, and Mark Grace leads it off. Popped to short his first time up. And he takes it outside, ball 1. Phillies have out hit the Cubs 4-2. Breaking ball and a beauty by Tommy Green over for a strike. Phillies playing Grace basically straight away and pinching him in the alleys. He is a all-fields hitter.
I'm going to call breaking ball right here.
2-1.
See there? So
Jordan boots it.
This was a fastball away. Grace pulled it down to first base, and Jordan couldn't handle it. But the way Tommy Green is pitching doesn't look like he's overpowering. And the reason I thought it might be a breaking ball was because he just looks like he's throwing the spots and kind of trying to keep the hitters off balance.
That's error number 2 on the year on Ricky Jordan, as he had a ground ball just kick right out of his glove. Too late for Duncan to throw out Mark Grace, and that'll bring up Sammy Sosa. Error number 1 in the game for the Phillies. The Cubs also have one. Sosa grounded to short his first time up. And Sosa beats one foul third base side. The Cubs are here one more time tomorrow night at 7:35. The Astros in for the weekend, 7:35 on Friday, 7:05 Saturday, 1:35 Sunday, 463. 1,000 for your tickets are at any of the local Ticketmaster locations throughout the tri-state area. As the season winds down here in the month of September, Phillies playing game number 139 tonight. Big swing and a miss by Sosa. On deck is Wilkins. Sosa wanted that one back.
Oh, I'm sure. And, you know, there are several ways to win in the big leagues if you're a pitcher. I mean, you can go out there and have your good stuff and dominate a game, which Tommy Green has the ability to do. But also, it appears to me tonight that, you know, he's going out there trying to stay ahead of the hitters and keep them off balance because he's not overpowering. He's just trying to throw the opposite of what they're looking for.
High fastball.
And that's how you can get by without having your best stuff.
Tommy Green's the kind of guy that can start this way and then all of a sudden get overpowering. Schilling is like that also, as they can actually get stronger sometimes as the game goes along. We'll see what happens.
I mean, obviously a situation where, you know, when you want to challenge the hitter, Tommy Green can definitely rear back and throw it with anybody.
He's trying to get Sosa to chase a high fastball. Well, he's laid off two of them.
Well, again, in a situation like that, there's no way Sosa should be looking for a fastball, and that's just what he's throwing him. He knows he's looking breaking ball, and that's what I mean. He's trying to throw the opposite pitch to keep the hitter off stride.
Chuck Cartier, the third base coach, former major league manager. 2-2 on Sammy Sosa. A dangerous hitter coming inside to him here. Oh, Dalton framed it and they didn't get it. 3-2. Now we'll see if they start Gray. Sosa swings through a lot of pitches.
Well, you know, I don't think that they'll challenge him with a fastball in this situation if my theory about him throwing the opposite of what the hitter holds true.
Grace goes, and it's a swing and a miss. They got him hung out. Oh, nice tag by Stocker. What a great play by Kevin Stocker. A strikeout double play as Darren Dalton made a low throw, and Stocker just made a terrific tag.
He did. He got off the bag, reached out in front, made the catch, and then was able to reach back and get Grace, who was sliding away. Here you'll see the swing and the miss there. Look at him come up, field the ball on a short hop. Grace gets the bag initially, but he's so far to the outside. Watch right here. I think Grace gets the bag. He doesn't get tagged, but he comes off the bag, and Stocker never tags him again.
But he's in the dugout.
Yeah, he's out.
Wilkins, the batter. Rick walked his first time up, scored the Cubs run. 2 outs now and nobody on base.
But the concentration it takes to field that ball on a short hop like that, and then have the wherewithal to go out and get the runner.
You know what he did too was he came and met it a little bit. I mean, he didn't stay back and let the ball play him and be at the mercy of it. He came and caught it, and the worst thing he figured was he was going to keep it in front of him.
Well, that's what you do. You create the short hop that you can handle. If you stay back, the ball's going to bounce further in front of you, and it's going to be a higher hop and less of an angle to catch it. So you get out there and you take it right off the ground like he did, and then, but again, you find so many guys want to tag them before they actually get the ball. Good concentration.
He doesn't make many mistakes. 3 balls and 1 strike on Wilkins, who's very patient, especially for a guy who can bomb the way he can. 26 homers.
I mean, that's something you don't really teach the guy. It's such a reaction play.
Look out. Fouled back over the screen into the crowd. Someone just yell, "I got it." Rick Mundy, the last Cub left-handed hitter to hit in many homers. Fly ball to left field and deep. Incaviglia has room at the track. He squeezes it, and the Cubs are gone in the 4th. No runs, no hits, an error by the Phillies, and nobody left.
Making it to the pros takes
takes a certain level of excellence, the experience to get the job done right, and a reputation for quality. Like Gates hoses from CarQuest. Today's engines are putting added strain on hoses. If you haven't changed hoses lately, have it done now before they go, and insist on Gates. So for the best possible performance, install what the pros install. CarQuest. Welcome to the pros.
When you work one job, grab a quick lunch, a quicker dinner, and move on to job number 2, how you gonna spell relief? That's a big relief you can feel, because Rolaids absorbs 47 times its weight in excess stomach acid to stop heartburn fast. So for millions, there's only one way to spell 100% relief. Rolaids spells 100% relief.
What if someone were to design a car about the size of a Ford Taurus outside, but with more room for people than Taurus or Toyota Camry inside? Someone did. What if someone were to design a car with safety features Taurus and Camry don't give you, like both driver and passenger side airbags standard, or an available integrated child safety seat? Someone did. And what if a prestigious magazine were to name this car Automobile of the Year? One of them did. Dodge Intrepid. This changes everything.
Well, here is in the POW game today, Larry Rosen playing center field. How about this play?
Oh, man, this is too nice. That's a great play, Larry. I got to give you credit. You've been listening to what I've been saying out here every night, and that was an excellent play. But, you know, what kind of got me, Chris, was that he was running around looking for guys to high-five. That's not class.
You came and high-fived me. I was sitting on the bench doing an interview.
It was a great, I know, it was a great play, but I think the star of the game really defensively was Scott Palmer. He did just a heck of a job out in left field.
Did he short leg that ball? That was a good play. Nice going, Larry. Pete Incaviglia leads it off. And just chasing that changeup.
Came in, he told me he took a couple of steps in so that he could make it look difficult.
Well, he did. Incaviglia leads it off. He grounded to third his first time up. Wes Chamberlain to follow, then Kevin Stocker. Greg Hibbert, an excellent changeup, and he'll throw it at any time, much like Guzman's palm ball last night. There's another one. When he bounced that one, 1 and 2.
So when a left-hander throws a changeup like that, it goes down and away from right-handers. So not only is it off speed, but you have to kind of chase it a little bit to get your bat on it.
Curveball, and he missed, yeah. And if you start trying to pull it, you'll play Pepper with a shortstop all night.
And it's not going to be thrown hard enough to where you can really drive it the other way. You got to be content if you're going to chase that ball to hit it to right field, and if he makes a mistake, then you can jump all over it.
So Inky's career numbers off Hibbert, facing him in the American League also, and he has not had much success with him. And they want to take a look at the baseball. Bob Davidson says it's okay, fires it back to the pitcher Hibbert. Full count on Pete Incaviglia. Ripped to left. White Smith misjudged it, then goes back and over his head. Incaviglia's going to have to hustle for second. He's there. We'll see how he scores. He broke in, then broke back, and it went off his glove. That's going to give Incaviglia a double on it. That is Incaviglia's 15th double of the year.
Well, that should be an error in my opinion, but this ball's over the heart of the plate. It stays up for Incaviglia, and he hits a tracer. Smith broke in, which you have a tendency to do on line drives because they're low and you think you have to go in on them. But when a guy as strong as Incaviglia hits the ball like that, it has a tendency to take off. And that ball was smoked.
Wes Chamberlain, the batter, hit a changeup for a home run his last time up. West's 12th of the year and his 9th career homer against these Cubs. Curveball gets away. Happy birthday tonight to Chris Townsend from his mom Peg McCafferty Townsend from the Somerdale section of Philadelphia. Grounds a change up the shortstop. That's what happens when you try to pull that change up. Chamberlain was kind of caught in between as a 7-hole hitter. You know, do you move the runner for Stocker or not after you've just hit a home run, but we'll never know because he grounds that change up the shortstop.
Well, you don't get caught in between once you step in the batter's box. You may not know what you're going to do before you get in there, but once you determine what you're going to do, then you go up there and do it.
Absolutely. And as I mean by that, you know what I mean, that in the 7-hole, and you just hit a homer, what do I do here?
Exactly. That's exactly right. I would think that they would want him going up there and hit the ball, try and hit it hard somewhere.
Yep. Stocker, the batter. Kevin singled and scored a run his last time up. Also stole his 5th base of the year. Really tough to stay back on that changeup, as you saw Chamberlain get way out in front and hook it to the shortstop. Stocker got a fastball there and took it for a strike. Hibbert does not throw many fastballs. Grounds it weakly to second, and Sandberg throws him out. He had a good idea trying to hit it to the right side, but grounds out. 2 down. College football, all the color, pageantry, and spirit of a traditional football game. The legendary Fighting Irish of Notre Dame play the midshipmen of Navy here at the Vet on Saturday, October the 30th. Kickoff is at 12:10. You can order your tickets by calling the Phil's ticket office at 463-1000 or come on by the Vet to pick them up. This college football matchup sponsored in part by the Philadelphia Inquirer and Herman's World of Sporting Goods. Tommy Green swings and misses. He got breaking balls and change-ups his first time up. Respect to a good hitting pitcher. The Phillies with a leadoff double now have Incaviglia at 3rd and 2 outs. And the ball bounces up there, and a nice play by Wilkins. There is Pete Incaviglia. Well, the Baltimore Orioles are looking a lot better as far as winning the division, because look who they got. Lonnie Smith. He is always a good luck charm.
He'll provide a little assistance too.
32 years of age now is Lonnie, and they released Glenn Davis, who got in a shouting match with Johnny Oates the other day. What a bad situation that became for Glenn Davis over there. He's hurt most of the time.
And that's that frustration that probably set in.
Ripped down the left field line. It's a fair ball. Bounces off the ball girl, it looked like, and it's in play. And Tommy Green will have a double and an RBI. That bounced off somebody down there. And it stayed in the field of play, but a big 2-out hit for Tommy Green, who knocks in his 7th run of the year.
Now, the 1-2 was the count. I mean, but to give Tommy Green a pitch that he can pull like that, the most difficult thing to do as a hitter, you'll see this ball is hit pretty hard. Oh, catches her right on the hip.
It did hit her. Yeah.
Died right there.
Okay. Tough.
But I mean, if he's a pitcher up there, if you don't feel confident throwing him or challenging him, you got to give him a fastball, make him hit the ball the other way. You can't just lay it down the middle.
Looks like she's okay out there.
Yeah, sure.
Man. Taking one for the club.
Don't rub it.
Yeah, that's what the players always say. Don't rub it. That had to hurt, though. Ball hit that wet astroturf and really skipped. Lenny Dykstra is 1 for 2 tonight with an RBI. That ball was ruled in play immediately by the 3rd base umpire, Angel Hernandez. Lenny thought it was outside. He always does when he walks across the plate like that. It's his way of making a point without saying anything. Phillies lead at 3-1 now. They've out hit the Cubs 6-2. Breaking ball. On deck batters Duncan, 2-2 on Lenny. Dykstra's run batted in his last time up, his 50th.
I mean, if you don't have a fastball, or I should say if you're throwing a lot of breaking balls, your changeup and your curveball, how do you finish the guy off if you don't have but a mediocre fastball? And that's a problem for a pitcher. You start showing all of his stuff.
Now they're breaking ball, and he hits it to Grace, and Hibbert covers, and Dykstra is retired. But the Phillies pick up a 2-out run here in the inning. 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and they leave 1. Through 4, Phil's 3 and the Cubs 1.
you have anything to fit me?
No offense, Mr. Jones, but you are a little on the small side.
I need more choices.
Harry, give me those genuine yellow pages. Look, choices. Italian, Greek, Chinese. You want more?
Those are restaurants.
That's right. You put some meat on those bones and come back and see us.
9 out of 10 use it.
Mr. Matterhorn.
The genuine Bella, Pennsylvania yellow pages from Bell Atlantic.
Are you losing weight?
It was for immigrants and their children and their dreams. It was for families. For new beginnings. And today, there's still just one reason why we always do our best. It's for you. Mellon PSFS.
What? Oh, guard dog. Oh, very scary. Finally, the good stuff.
If you want great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
Fan Appreciation Day, Phillies and the Atlanta Braves, Sunday, September the 26th. Final regular season home game of the year. What a day to say thanks for all your spectacular support. There'll be all the customary prizes and surprises, plus all fans receive a great-looking poster to commemorate this memorable season. Compliments of Acme. So come on out, make your plans now. Call 463-1000 for tickets, or stop by the Center City Ticket Office located at Mellon PSFS at Broad and Chestnut Streets.
Isn't that old softball great there? It's William Rosen. Larry Rosen's father. You didn't know that?
Yeah, I met Larry's dad. That is his dad.
And Larry, he went all up in the stands to high-five his father after that catch.
I saw him walking around after the game through the stand saying, you know, I'm the guy that made that catch in center.
You know, Larry was telling me, though, about it. He's played on the same softball team with his father. His father, a former professional player in the Giants organization.
Strike called to Steve Buechele, who singled to center his first time up. Buechele now with a 6-game hitting streak. And there are the numbers during that streak. Fastball beaten to Stocker, who gets a short hop and throws out Buechele, one away here in the 5th. Cubs at the bottom of the lineup. Buechele, now Wilson, and Hibbert.
Hey, Chris, we really have to congratulate those people from PAL for putting on a good event there. And I mean, when you really stop to think about what took place, but the importance of it and what a job they do for the kids here in the city, the policemen working together with the youth of the city. And I'm glad that Prism was able to broadcast it. It was a great cause. And how about yourself? Giving you free time to go down there and do those interviews. It all goes to making a good night.
Yeah, well, it's a small price, right? You can help those kids out.
Really.
Had Commissioner Neal on, Officer Dennis Jones, who works so hard with the kids in the city. Great program, pal. Wilson swings and misses. 75 pitches for Tommy Green here in the 5th inning.
Tommy Green was able to get ahead of Wilson in his last at-bat with those fastballs under his hands, and then came back with the one that he lined for a base hit to drive in the run for the Cubs.
Got under his hands there, as Gary was just describing. Stocker, and he hears him coming. He's gone. Incaviglia grabs it, 2 down.
Look how far Incaviglia came for that ball. I mean, he was...
It's kind of like Bowen Lazinski.
Yeah, you see Stocker throws up his hands. He doesn't say anything. He signals with his hands, and then it's up to Incaviglia to tell him, I got it, which he did, and the shortstop, if he has any sense at all, will move.
Greg Hibbert, the pitcher, bats. He struck out his first time up. Tommy Green was in danger of walking Hibbert, which would have loaded the bases, but he came back to strike him out. That was the inning when he gave up the 1 run with 2 outs in the 2nd. Next pitch to Hibbert, bounces up there, 1-1. 2 outs, nobody on base. You're just joining us. The Phillies lead at 3-1. They got 2 in the 2nd, 1 in the 4th. And there's the line on Green. Right back to Tommy. Flips to Ricky Jordan, and the Cubs are gone in order in the 5th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. 4.5 through. Bills lead at 3.
Right now, save on every #1 selling Ford at your Quality Plus Ford dealer. It's Ford's factory authorized clearance. For just $199 a month, choose between a #1 selling Escort or Ranger. Loaded with extras, your choice, just $199 a month. See your Quality Plus Ford dealer during Ford's factory authorized clearance.
See your Ford dealer today. Get behind the wheel and turn the key.
Hurry! Ford's factory authorized clearance ends soon.
Did you know Texaco puts System 3 in every grade of gasoline?
System 3 gets high marks in every grade, which is a lot better than I ever did.
My dad says Texaco puts System 3 in every grade. I'm in the 4th grade.
Of course. That's why I always fill up with System 3. What do I look like? Don't say it.
Visit your Texaco station.
I can get the tires rotated, the car lubed, and still get home in time for the game.
Mow the lawn.
For unbeatable System 3 gasolines and so much more.
Mow the lawn.
Mow the lawn.
I remember last year, honey, when we were moving.
Right.
Well, she called us and said if we put both our new house and car policies with her, we would save money.
Well, we have so many choices at Nationwide, and my job is to make you aware of your options.
She was always there with an answer.
That's the way we're trained, to be very knowledgeable and to be there when people really need you the most. And that's important.
Agents like Margaret are Nationwide.
Nationwide is on your side.
Brought to you by Nationwide Insurance. Nationwide is on your side. Your Nationwide agent in Exton is Robert Dans.
Tomorrow night after the Phillies-Cubs game, be sure and stay tuned. 10 o'clock, Rising Suns Wesley Snipes and Eric Stoll survive fatal accidents, but must then come to terms with their disabilities in The Water Dance. Helen Hunt co-stars in a critically acclaimed drama tomorrow night right here on Prism, channel with a better variety of movies. We will not be on Prism tomorrow night, but be sure and tune into that movie. Dunk tonight has singled and struck out on a changeup. And Hibbert moves him off the plate a little bit. 1-1. Mariano will look for that ball away, and he can hit it to right with the best of them. Jim Fregosi, Phil Skipper looking on. Breaking ball, a swing and a miss.
No, I just don't think Hibbert has done a good job of establishing his fastball. And you have to do that. You have to have more than just off-speed pitches.
There's a fastball inside. Hibbert, best year in the major leagues was in 1990 with the White Sox when he was 14-9 with a 3.16 earned run average. Good numbers by Duncan against these Cubs. As Gary said last night, that's not unusual. It's a tough play if it stays fair, and it does not. It goes foul.
See, that's what your tendency is. There's a ball up and out of the strike zone, and he comes over the top of it and pulls it foul down the third base side.
You made a good point last night that there are certain pitches that make a hitter turn their hands over early, and I guess that would qualify as one that changeup.
Well, the key to hitting off-speed pitches is to keep your hands back, but if you start them forward and they get too far out in front of you, they're going to turn over automatically. Your wrists are going to turn over.
Dennis Menke, the Phillies hitting coach, there in the dugout. Another off-speed pitch, and Duncan gets a piece of it and fouls it. Mariano Duncan, Ricky Jordan, Dave Hollins will all bat from the right side here in the 5th inning against Greg Hibbert. Hibbert pitched 2 years at the University of Alabama. And Duncan tries to go the other way, but he grounds it right to Sandberg, who throws him out. One away here in the 5th inning. And Jordan, the batter, Ricky has grounded out twice to the right side. He's about due to smoke a ball off this guy. He's hit 2 balls off the end of the bat. Phillies with 3 runs on 6 hits. The Cubs 1 on 2. Ricky trying to be a little more patient this time. Now gets ahead 2-0.
See, now Hibbert has thrown that same off-speed pitch. He needed to challenge him with one of those pitches with a fastball so he can establish it.
And he hit it right on the nose. Right at Buechele, and he's going to throw him out.
2-0, you come in with some stuff like that, and it's going to get tattooed. 2-0 fastball. Mickey Jordan says, whoa, he couldn't believe it was there. He hit it good. Michelle can pick it down there.
Yeah, and he spun coming out of the box, so he barely coming into your picture there. So 2 up and 2 down for the Phillies in the 5th inning. Hollins, the batter, got on in an error by Vizcaíno and struck out his last time up.
See, that was a 2-0 fastball that he got away with. You're more likely to get away with it if it's 1-0. You know, that time it can be more effective. But if you wait till 2-0 and he's looking for it, and it's still hard to get a base hit. So you challenge the hitter early in the count, and that's how you establish your pitches for the night.
I think this guy could throw some first ball fastballs for strikes because the hitters are going to take them.
That's right.
And Hollins lunging out for that pitch away. Most guys that throw as many changeups as Hibberts will pitch inside quite a bit to establish a way as you look at his line.
Exactly, or that hard slider like a Terry Mulholland throws inside to keep the hitter from reaching out there for it. You know, he has good stuff, but how he uses it to become effective is what he has to learn or do better in this league anyway.
And he comes inside, right on the inside corner, and gets Hollins looking. That's his 4th strikeout. Phillies are out in order in the 5th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. We're through 5, 3-1 Phillies.
You've seen it before. The ones who run with the herd, and the one who always seems to run alone. Don't see him often enough, though.
It's often taken for granted, yet it's as precious as the very air we breathe. It's called freedom. And it's what inspired Independence Blue Cross and Pennsylvania Blue Shield to create the new Personal Choice, a health plan that offers people the low costs of an HMO without asking them to give up what they value most, their freedom. Personal Choice, the health plan that controls costs, not people.
It's like having a Phillies ticket window come right to your home. Call 463-1000 and reserve your tickets in advance. No rushing, no waiting, no hassle. 463-1000. It's like having a Phillies ticket window right in your home.
6th inning baseball coming up here, but first the Fanatic finishes his 5th inning annex. David Raymond always entertaining the crowd before the ball games and during them. And he will head on out as Dwight Smith strolls towards home plate to lead it off. This gives us a chance to congratulate the guys at Prism, nominated for the outstanding live coverage of sports for the Sixers, Phillies, and Big 5, and 3 different nominations there, and also to our associate director up here in the booth tonight, Tony Irving, also nominated for an Emmy for a special he did on the Sixers. Along with Mark Zumoff, he was also nominated once, so congratulations to Tony.
Now, Mark, I can definitely understand. The guy is professional. You know, no question about it, been around for a while, but Tony, you know, you got to call him like you see him. You got to congratulate him if he was nominated.
How about if he wins?
Oh, it'd be almost as difficult as living with Larry after that catch.
Dwight Smith swings and misses at a good.
There he is.
Tony Irving is nominated for an Emmy.
The ball head guy right there.
Good looking dude, isn't he? Make sure he paid his after dues. Next pitch to Smith is over for a strike 3 call.
Look, if he'd have known he was going to be on television, he'd have worn his other shirt. He's only got 2 of them.
Tony and Aldo, Brian Freeman in the background there. All the guys help us out up here and do a great job.
Yeah, let's pay attention to the game here. Just an outstanding pitch. Took something off of it, ran it away, and caught the outside part of the plate.
Good curveball. Here's Vizcaíno 0 for 2 with a fly ball and a strikeout. Fouled out of play.
So right there, that strike 1 fastball went right after him, got the strike. Now you know, whatever he feels like throwing.
Tommy has walked 1, struck out 5 thus far. Stay tuned for another edition of We's Remembered coming up. They've been great features we've been running during this month of September. Tonight, the Phillies close in on a divisional championship back in '83. They'd like to say they're trying to close in on one this year. Still have a long way to go. As the Montreal Expos have been a red-hot ball club. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The pitch to Vizcaíno. Fastball misses inside, 2-2. On deck is Ryan Sandberg. 1 out, nobody on base here in the 6th inning. Phil's lead it by 2 at 3-1. Back inside again, struck him out. Same spot he got Vizcaíno last time. Same type of pitch, a hard fastball in on him.
Did a nice job, good breaking balls throughout the count, but this is a fastball that runs back. I mean, he reaches back for that, and that's what Tommy Green will do.
Good movement on the pitch. Sandberg 0 for 2, a comebacker to Tommy Green. Fly ball to right fielder Wes Chamberlain. Whoops. Tommy Green leads the league in wild pitches with 15 of them. I would say most of them come on that sharp breaking ball when he's having trouble controlling it. One ball, no strikes on Sandberg. Overthrew that pitch too. Overthrew both of them. Darren Dalton looks out like, come on.
Well, that is Ryan Sandberg up there, regardless of what type of year he's having. You know, you get that type of respect.
And you want to stay away from him, especially when he gets ahead in the count. And they do, and it's low. A little too much respect. 3-0 now to Sandberg.
I mean, if he's going to hit the ball out of the ballpark, fine, you let him do that. But I don't think you want to walk him and bring the tying run to the plate.
In Mark Grace. Fastball, and Sandberg was taking all the way. Strike called by Bob Davidson. 3-1 on Sandberg. 26-year-old Tommy Green. Oh, whoops. Second time that's happened to him tonight.
Darren Dalton moving at the last second there, but I don't think that had anything to do with it.
Fastball ripped to left center. See if Incaviglia can cut it off. He does. And Sandberg will be held with a long single.
Boy, Sandberg kept his head right there on that pitch. Good example for kids watching a guy hit. He keeps his head right there in the strike zone, head down on the ball. You try and see it hit the bat. Watch his head. Right there. This is a better angle. Look at his head right there on the ball, and that's what you have to do. You see a lot of guys at the last second, as that bat starts to come through the strike zone, that head lifts up a little bit, and that's where you lose the judgment.
It's also an example of what happens when you have to throw 3-1 fastballs to him. Mark Grace 0 for 2 tonight. He's popped up and lived on an error by Ricky Jordan at first. Ricky playing tonight for John Kruk. Swing and a miss and a fastball.
You know, I think with Grace in this at bat, yes, he can hit the ball out of the ballpark if you come inside to him. So, you know, keep the ball away from him. Let him hit the ball the other way and take your chances with the next hitter if that be the case. But you don't want him to beat you with that long ball, so you keep it away from him.
Which they did on the first pitch, and they try a backdoor breaking ball there and miss. 1-1. It looked like Grace opened up a little bit on that first pitch and tried to pull it.
Well, I'm sure he was thinking juice if he got a pitch he could handle.
Good hitter, Mark Grace. Pop foul out of play. And he's ahead of him 1-2.
See, Grace, like a Lenny Dykstra and John Kruk, will go the other way if you pitch them that way. But Grace will be able to hurt you with that long ball if you come inside, middle of the plate in.
Yeah, on the road, he's not going to hit a whole lot of opposite field homers. He can at Wrigley. They go away from him again with a breaking ball, and he hits it off the end of the bat to Stocker, steps on the bag, and that'll do it. No runs, a hit, no errors, and one left. Time now for another edition of Bees Remembered. Tonight, the 1983 Phillies close in on a divisional championship.
Let's go back to the final game of a critical homestand. The Phillies lead the East by 2 games and are leaving for an 8-game road trip. It was a critical night to beat the Cubs. But the one that got away, Ryne Sandberg, gave the Cubs the lead. And Bill Buckner's line drive home run off Kevin Gross meant the night would be an uphill climb for the Phillies. An RBI single by Gary Maddox began to cut into the lead. And a night after starring on his 40th birthday, Joe Morgan put the Phillies in front.
High chop off the glove of Buckner ahead. Maddox scores. De Jesus will score. Phillies take a 4-3 lead here in the 4th inning on a 2-run single by Joe Morgan.
The Phillies added a run on a sacrifice fly by Pete Rose, despite an amazing circus catch by the spinning Mel Hall. Original Cub Joe Carter, yes, that Joe Carter, got his first Veterans Stadium hit, and one of only a handful before the Cubs traded him to Cleveland. Minor league home run champion Gary Wood's moonshot off Willie Hernandez brought the Cubs back to within 1 as the tension mounted. But Larry Anderson got Keith Moreland to line to Morgan for a double play to close down a threat. Then Morgan would get his 8th hit in 2 nights to ensure it.
It's a fair ball. Bob Dernier will score easily. Here goes Morgan to second. He has another 4-hit game.
Morgan would leave to a ringing ovation. And Ron Reed would saw off Sandberg for the final out. The red-hot Phillies had won their 5th straight. The corks would pop a week later.
1983, we remember 1993, and Darren Dalton fouls it off into the crowd behind home plate. Dutch tonight 0 for 2. Sitting here in 10 years doing was his remembers. No balls on a strike. Dalton swings and misses at a breaking ball. Hibbert continues to throw that off-speed pitches.
Boy, I know Darren would like nothing more than to get his stroke together. You know, get some base hits. I mean, he doesn't want to hit home runs, but would like to have his stroke together where he's hitting the ball the way he can.
Hibbert misses outside.
So frustrating. I mean, you see a great hitter like John Kruk going through the same thing, so no one is immune.
And he waits on that one, but hits it off the end of the bat foul.
I mean, but when you're playing, you think guys like Pete Rose, those guys ever go into slumps? Everybody gets at it.
There's certain hitters, it seems like you never see them when they're in one. Here's the 1-2 coming up from Hibbert. Now, Dalton Towers is waiting, steps out. High in the air to shallow center field, and actually right behind second there is Sandberg. He grabs it. So Dalton's hit 2 of them tonight, where he's hit breaking balls off the end, one off the end of the bat, the other fastball that he popped up.
We talked about Ron Sandberg keeping his head right there and watching the ball hit the bat. Darren just pulling off just a little bit and dragging his hands through there, so he's just getting the end of the bat on the ball.
Incaviglia, the batter, grounded to third, then hit a shot off the glove of Dwight Smith and left. Scored a double, and Pete scored then on Tommy Green's 2-out double. Blowing in the dirt, 1-0. Wes Chamberlain waits on deck. Wes has a home run in the game. Phillies, bottom of the order for them tonight, has been very productive.
Well, from a mental standpoint, you get into September, for someone like Darren Dalton, especially the cooler weather, you know, you'll start to even feel better when you take the field. But obviously he's in need of a second win.
Johnny Padres is of the opinion too, as you look at Incaviglia with his 92 hits, 83 runs batted, it helps the pitchers a lot too in September when it gets a little cooler. And it has been a very, very hot summer in this area, unusually warm, especially during the Phillies homestands. There's Pods looking on at one of his Base hit to left field by Incaviglia, a guy he really likes. Johnny likes to talk about the offensive players on the team too, and he really likes beating Incaviglia.
Yeah, well, that's understandable because that makes those pitchers' jobs quite easy. Phillies averaging 5 runs a game.
Change up that he got up a little bit.
I mean, this guy has been on a tear since. I remember we were feeling sorry for him. He just couldn't buy a hit. Now all of a sudden they can't get him out. Back on a tear.
Johnny Padres, who had some memorable Octobers in his great career. I think his call was a balk. Yep. We'll show you what happened. Here's what happens with Hibbert. He just flinched, put that hand behind his back, and Bob Davidson won't miss those.
Right, he took that hand as if he was going to start his delivery and then stopped it. Flinched it just a little bit, then tried to step off. You have to step off first.
Bob is a native of Chicago, as you saw there. And Pete Incaviglia now moves into scoring position. And the Phillies would like to get him home and take advantage of their opportunities tonight. Wes hit a home run in the second inning. His 12th of the year, his 40th run batted in. He grounded as short as last time up. Kevin Stocker, they're going to walk him now. Kevin Stocker's on deck. They will walk Wes Chamberlain. And take their chances with Stocker. He's done a very good job driving in runs himself. He's 27 runs batted in that 8-hole.
Well, he has that because he's gotten the opportunity, and that's what's going to happen to a rookie. He must prove himself time and time again before they will give him the respect that that he wants.
So here comes Kevin Stocker, 1 for 2 on the night with a run scored.
I can understand that thinking. You got a chance of pitching to Wes Chamberlain, who's already hurt you with the home run, or Kevin Stocker. I don't think there's any question which one you pitch to. Someone asked me if I could explain how Kevin Stocker hitting 260 something in the minors can come up here and do this. I said no. I have no explanation at all.
Did you hit better when you came to the majors than you did in the minors?
No, not right away. You grow into the role.
Stocker, the ball gets away from Wilkins, and the runners are going to move up. Probably be a pass ball.
I don't know if Wilkins was looking for the curve ball, which would have been coming into Stocker, or if he was anticipating the changeup, which would have gone away. But you see right here, just kind of ties him up.
Yeah, he got crossed up, and he's talking about it now.
Looks like he wants to move outside to get the ball, and it comes back inside on him.
Knocked his glove off. He definitely got crossed up.
If he didn't get crossed up, this is exactly what you do to make it look like you got crossed up.
They wouldn't do that. A catcher would never do that.
Hey, man, we're only human. No one likes to look bad.
Now they're going to bring the infield in for the Cubs. Incaviglia at third. Chamberlain at second. Interesting situation here now. Tommy Green's a good hitting pitcher on deck. There's one out. Normally with a pitcher on deck and one out, you go on contact. Do you hear?
Oh, I think so.
I do too. We shall see if he hits a ball in the infield. Incaviglia trying to get that walking lead off third base.
I think what the Cubs are thinking, if we get Stocker out, if we strike him out and the run scores, do we walk Green?
But now it's 3-0. Walk Green to get the Dykes.
Yeah, Green is tearing them apart. That's their only problem.
And Stocker will probably look at one here. Let's see. He does. What a good attack by Kevin Stocker. They're loaded with one out for Green, who ripped a double his last time up. Walk number 2. Bob Scanlon, who we've not seen yet in this series, heats up, and here comes Billy Connors to the mound.
Look at that clock, that little speed, what do you call those, stopwatches that Connors has around his neck.
Counts of pitches with it.
I mean, they count pitches. They use the stopwatch to time the delivery to home plate.
intentional walk to Chamberlain, then the pass ball, and then the walk unintentional to Kevin Stocker. With Incaviglia already on, has loaded him up as Billy takes a stroll back.
Billy good friends with Larry Ball.
Good guy, Billy Connors. Lives in Clearwater. Seen him quite a bit before spring training officially starts. We're down there.
Where's your official residence? Clearwater or
right now?
Yeah.
Bluebell.
Bluebell.
Tommy Green, the batter, 1 for 2 with that double. And Green takes it. I'd like to say hello to great Phillies fan Dorothy Logan, watching on Prism tonight. Lives in the Roxborough area.
Mr. Wilkins looking into the dugout saying, well, what do you want us to throw him now?
He doesn't get cheated.
Well, I mean, that's why you have to go ahead and challenge this guy or make a pitch for him that he has to show some hitting ability on it. I mean, he swung too hard at that. If he'd have been nice, patient, got a strike, he would have been doing something. But you got to go ahead and try and pitch these pitchers and make them hit good pitches.
See the base runners in Incaviglia, Chamberlain, and Stocker, 1 out. Tommy Green looks like he's trying to hit a grand slam here. Fly ball would be nice. He could really help himself with that. There's his career average. He has 7 RBIs this year, so he's doubled his career total.
Tommy Green's not doing anything different now, except the only thing that's different is the balls are going down. He hung one to him that stayed up, and now he's throwing him 2 that goes down, and he swings over the top of it.
And it counts 2-2 on Green. Got him. A big strikeout for Hibbert, and now it's up to Dykstra with 2 outs. Strikeout number 5 for Greg Hibbert.
I mean, if you can get Lenny Dykstra up there with the bases loaded, I don't care how many outs there are, you've done good. I mean, I've seen a lot of pitchers that would try and take advantage of a situation there where they would make Green hit the ball. You try and run something in on his hands and make him hit a ground ball.
Got Tommy Green to chase a changeup. The Cubs infielders can now move all the way back. Sandberg behind the white line, as is Vizcaíno at short with 2 outs and the bases loaded. Base hit center field, Lenny Dykstra. 1 run scores. Here comes Chamberlain. He'll score. The throw is cut off, and they got Stocker in a rundown. It's 5-1. Stocker is tagged out by Vizcaíno, the shortstop, and Lenny Dykstra's knocked in 3 tonight. In the inning, Phillies pick up 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors, and they will leave 2 men on base. Thank you, Gary. 5-1 Phillies.
Yeah, you're right, Judd. There's no beach traffic.
Easy. I went out. There's a Coke machine.
Man, I'm so hot.
You certainly are.
Hot as in sweaty.
Okay, so crank on the AC.
Air conditioning is for the weak, like yourself.
I'm sticking to the seat like yourself.
That
Please
dog is
don't.
moving faster than we are.
All you guys ever do is complain.
Your shoes are pretty.
Could someone please fan me?
No.
Coca-Cola, anyone?
Yay!
Thank you, Alan, for serving a purpose in my life for the first time.
Well,
You're very welcome.
There's no place on earth that I'd rather be than out in the open where it's all plain to see. If it's gonna get done, it's up to you and me. Come on and head for the mountains of Bush. Come on and head for the mountains of Bush. Beer.
Ryback is an ex-SEAL. Expert in martial arts, explosives,
Stand back!
weapons and tactics.
I also cook. The Nimitz is tracking 2 Tomahawks just launched from the Missouri. Where are they headed? Honolulu. Happy trails.
Steven Seagal.
I know you, don't I?
Tommy Lee Jones.
Been a long time.
Under Siege.
And Lenny Dykstra, Jay, with the first pitch he sees from Hibbert, and the base is loaded.
Well, you know, the big thing about this is it's another big 2-out base hit. Tommy Green was able to get Dykstra up with bases loaded, and this is another time where the Phillies have come up with a big 2-out base hit to drive in some runs, and that's been the Phillies' trademark all year long. They've been able to come up with that key hit in a crucial situation. Even though Stocker did get caught off base in the pickoff, the Phillies picked up a couple runs and now lead at 5-1.
8-6 the final out of the inning. Phillies leave 1 as Lenny Dykstra's knocked in 3 runs tonight. And dude now has 52 on the year. Sammy Sosa leads it off against Tommy Green, who throws a high fastball. It'll be Sosa, Wilkins, and Buechele to bat. Phillies have out-hit the Cubs now 8-3.
Gee, it's sure nice to see the Phillies on top in this series by more than 1 run.
Sosa high in the air to center field. A lot of room for Dykstra. Drifts to his left. 1 out.
Hey, happy birthday to Joanne Pettit in box 437, Glendale. We got a few more of those, don't we?
I don't know.
We also want
a pile of stuff right here.
We also want to congratulate Gene and Tony Giello for being in the booth with us tonight. They're from Drexel Hill, and they got a chance to come in the prison booth and watch how Chris and I work. Of course, they left screaming, unfortunately.
Said that's it, huh?
Yeah, they took off. I guess we scared them.
Wilkins the batter, and it's outside ball 1. Tommy Green at the 100 pitch mark here in the 7th inning. Wilkins has walked, scored, and flied out. Good curveball by Tommy Green over. He's throwing breaking balls, a lot of curveballs to the left-handed hitters, sliders to right-handed batters. And has a good fastball tonight. He has walked 1, struck out 6. Breaking ball hit to center. Dykstra coming on fast, still coming. He can't get there. Bounces high, bounces off his glove. Wilkins will stay at first. But Wilkins took that big swing, and he's a power hitter. It looked like it kind of froze Dykstra in center, and he wasn't able to get there.
Well, that's what fools an outfielder, because when you know that a guy has hit a lot of home runs, as Wilkins has, you see the big swing, you expect the ball to go a long, long way. The ball goes off the end of the bat. It kind of fools you a little bit. But Dykstra was able to get there, let the ball hop, and then it took a funny hop on that turf. It got away from him. But Wilkins, who doesn't run very quick, stayed at first. So Phillies catch a break there, not having Wilkins at second base with 1 out.
And they keep the double play in order for a guy who hits into a lot of them. Steve Buechele, 1 for 2. Chases a high fastball. Willie Wilson on deck. 26,553 tickets sold for this one tonight. Kind of a coolish night at Veterans Stadium. Not unpleasant at all.
I just got a brand new Darren Dalton Fleer card. It's not even out on the market yet. It's a new card coming out by Fleer from Darren Dalton, and the guys down in box 407 gave it to me to give to Darren, and it's really a nice looking card, isn't it? Yeah, sharp looking card by Fleer.
They do with those baseball cards now.
Amazing.
Steve Buechele fouls it back into the crowd, and the count is 0 balls and 2 strikes on the Cubs' third baseman. There is Dutch. Darren Dalton, truly an Iron Man. He's now started 123 of the Phillies' 139 games. And the 0-2 on the way to Buechele. He struck him out looking. That's number 7 for Green, 2 outs.
Nice job by Green. I also got a little note from all the Phillies baseball players as we see this great pitch by Tommy Green right on the outside corner. That's what they call being on the black. Great pitch and great location. The Phillies wanted me to congratulate Phil Sheridan in the clubhouse. He's one of the clubhouse kids. I guess he did something extraordinary last night, and they were all really happy. It was a terrific job done by Phil, and so the Phillies and the clubhouse guys, Frank and Kevin, and the team wanted me to congratulate him. So there's a big sign up there by the fan division. It says congratulations by that's not Phil.
That's Craig Marquis.
That's not Phil. But anyway, we just want to congratulate Phil for the job well done.
Must have helped Pete Sear with the laundry.
Something.
1 ball, no strike to Willie Wilson. Popped up foul. This will go out of play left side to count a ball and a strike on Wilson.
Either that or he won the lottery or hit the jackpot.
Willie TKnight has knocked in the Cubs' only run. That coming in the second inning when he blooped the single into right center field. Two outs in the inning. Phillies lead it 5-1. Hard ground ball right at Ricky, and Jordan grabs it, steps on the bag, and the Cubs are gone in the seventh. No runs, a hit, no errors. One man left on base. Seventh inning stretch time coming up. Great job tonight by Tommy Green. 5-1 Phillies.
Now appearing, a well-equipped Dodge Shadow for around $10,000. Spirit, the lowest priced 6-passenger car out there, around $12,100. Or own a Caravan, including air at no extra charge for under $15,100.
What would you do if you found
You don't find that kind of money just lying on the street.
$1 million?
Just did.
Would you give it back?
What are you, nuts?
Or would you keep it?
It's my money.
Police! Open the door! This is the true story of a man who found a little money.
Did we steal it from anybody? No.
And went a little crazy.
Are we giving it back? Hell no!
John Cusack, Money for Nothing, rated R, starts Friday, September 10th at a theater near you.
When you work one job, grab a quick lunch, a quicker dinner, and move on to job number 2, how you gonna spell relief? That's a big relief you can feel, because Rolaids absorbs 47 times its weight in excess stomach acid to stop heartburn fast. So for millions, there's only one way to spell 100% relief. Rolaids spells 100% relief.
Hello, I'm Dick Vermeil. True or false? Colorectal cancer has one of the highest mortality rates. True. Play it safe. Talk to your doctor about colorectal cancer screening. It may save your life.
Well, we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Phillies lead at 5-1. They're finally up on the Cubs. Cubs have beat them up pretty good the first couple of games. Phillies tried to come back in both, but we're 1 run shy in each. As we go to the bottom of the 7th inning, it'll be Duncan, Jordan, and Hollins against Greg Hibbert. Hibbert pitching pretty good, but the Phillies have been able to sneak 5 runs across. As we see John Kruk sitting on the bench getting his mental night off.
Duncan grounds it foul, third base side, gloved by Steve Buechele. Mariano, followed by Ricky Jordan, and then Dave Hollins. Duncan tonight 1 for 3, extending his hitting streak to 9 straight. Batted over 400 during that streak. Phillies 5, Cubs 1, bottom of the 7th inning from the vet.
Not only does he hit the Cubs well, he just hits well against the left-handers.
Oh, this guy has been such a good player for 2 years.
Oh.
You know, he's up to 425 at-bats again this season. He's knocked in 63 runs with his 9th homer last night.
You know,
fouls it away.
And the one thing about it, too, I know that he doesn't really like to play third, but he will play third if it's needed. And, you know, that's a team player, but he can play short, he can play second base. So, you know, he's a very versatile guy to have on the club if he's not your everyday starting something.
You can see him shaking his head. He just can't figure Hibbert out tonight with all this off-speed stuff. There's another breaking ball, and he beats it down the line. It's a fair ball. Great play, Buechele, but he can't get him. What a play by Steve Buechele, but Duncan beat it. Mariano really hustling down the line. He has his second hit of the night.
Well, Buechele was playing pretty deep, as you can see, coming in on the short grounder by Duncan. The only play he really had was to barehanded and try and throw off balance, but Duncan has pretty good speed, and he was able to beat out a base hit. But that was a very fine play. We haven't seen some plays like that since number 20 ran around that position out there for a while, have we?
Yeah, he could make them with the best, Michael Jack. Ricky Jordan 0 for 3 tonight. Ricky getting a rare start. Hit a ball hard his last time up as Hibbert moves over to first. Jordan making his 19th start of the year. He has 15 pinch hits this year, the most by a Phil since Greg Gross had 15 in 1987 and 19 in 82. Most by a right-handed Phillies pinch hitter since Tony Taylor had 17 in '74. So what that means is Ricky Jordan is really doing his job, and that's what he has to do this year, is pinch hit and play once in a while.
You know, Chris, you start looking at the bench that Jim Fregosi has to deal with, and you start having to go all the way back to 1976, 77. I mean, you know, when they had Davey Johnson and Ollie Brown and Mike Anderson and myself and several other guys that come off that bench and hit pretty good. I mean, you know, the Phillies have an outstanding bench, and that gives Jim Fregosi the ability to make moves, and he doesn't necessarily have to platoon. He can go with the gut feeling or who's hitting well, who's not. So far, every move that Fregosi has made this year has paid off in spades.
If you missed your chance this year, make sure you're on board next season with Phil's season tickets. There are plans to suit any budget and schedule, from full season plans to 16 game plans to 13 Sundays. And there's special benefits to being a season ticket holder, including options to purchase postseason tickets. Next pitch to Ricky is outside, so call now. Get your name on the list for the 1994 Phillies baseball season. Don't miss out again. Just call 463-5000 as Greg Hibbert hits that 100 pitch mark, and this will be his last inning of work. He is due to lead off in the 8th. Jordan swings and misses, and that's an all-time bat throw. It goes into left field.
I've seen some good ones. I've done a few myself, but that's going to rank right up there with one of the longest. You know, it's 90 feet to the bases. And look at the distance on this bat.
It'll be strong to throw a bat that far.
Yeah, look at that on the fly. Boucher, I'm getting the heck out of the way of this one.
Looked like another changeup, and Jordan swung and missed at it. Dave Holland's the batter. He's lived on an error and struck out twice. A lot of these right-handed hitters are having trouble with Hibbert's changeup tonight. But the Phillies still lead at 5-1. Big night for Lenny Dykstra. Hollands grounds one towards short. Not really a double play ball. And they will only get Duncan at second base. Vizcaíno flipping to Sandberg, and there are 2 outs, and Dalton will bat.
Well, I see that Gene and Tony have come back in the booth, so I guess we didn't scare them away too far. We thought maybe our announcing might have, as they left screaming, might have scared them out, but they're back.
Darren Dalton, the batter, 0 for 3. He's popped up to second twice and grounded out Sandberg to Hibbert covering. A lot of these hitters tonight, Dutch has had trouble staying back. And the pitch is over for a strike.
Well, how many times do the Phillies see a pitcher like Guzman or Hibbert with a lot of off-speed pitches who pitches backwards in the count? When they get ahead of the hitters, they come in with all the off-speed pitches. Normally in the National League, you see the heaters.
A ball and a strike on Dalton. If he keeps the inning alive, and Cavilla waits on deck. Here's a line on Hibbert. One of those walks intentional. Fastball, 2-1. And he just nibbles with that.
Yeah, you're not going to see that fastball down the center of the plate. Which is good, because at the rate of velocity that he has, you can't throw that fastball down the plate. It's almost like a VP fastball. So you got to sink it and cut it and keep the ball down in the strike zone.
Fouled first base side. The count even now on Dalton at 2-2. Play by Marty Miller.
You can't overlook the game that Tommy Green has pitched. The Phillies really needed a well-pitched game from Green tonight to get him back on track. And Green has been up to everybody's expectations. He's done a marvelous job.
7 solid innings for Tommy to this point. Dalton fouls it away, out of play left side. Darren Dalton is done. Philadelphia Committee for the Homeless. It's also part of the caring program for children. Crestcore States Bank, Independence Blue Cross, Pennsylvania Blue Shield. Last check on that was close to $90,000 those charities had donated to the caring program for children in the name of Darren Dalton, who gets jammed there and loops a line drive to the third baseman. Bouchel in the inning, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left. We're headed to the 8th. 5-1 Phils.
Where to find the Mountain Man. A mountain man can often be found on the trail of adventure, in search of remote watering holes, or weathering harsh climates. Most often, however, you'll find the Mountain Man wherever you find smooth bush beer or easy drinking Busch Light. So, head for the mountains and find yourself in the wide, open world of the Mountain Man.
To soar with eagles, be the best. To win the industry's highest awards for quality, commit to excellence. Provide superior quality products and have the strength to offer them at more than 12,500 locations nationwide. More than any other major brand. Discover for yourself the difference quality can make. Fly with the new superpower.
It's a free back-to-school backpack, compliments of Campbell Soup, when the Phillies play the Houston Astros Sunday, September 12th at 1:35. Backpack, baseball, and the Broad Street Bombers. All right. Call 463-1000 now.
Here's tonight's summary. For a change, the Phillies have been ahead for the most part. They trailed 1-0 in the second, went ahead 2-1, and have added since then 5-1. They lead it. Tommy Green, a 7-strong inning performance thus far. Wes Chamberlain got the Phils going tonight, tying the game with a home run, his 12th. And since then, Lenny Dykstra's had a couple of big hits. Jim Eisenreich now moves into the game. He will play right field and bat in Chamberlain's spot. And moving to third base and batting in Dave Holland's spot is Kim Baptiste. And the Cubs will bat Kevin Roberson. Roberson was in the starting lineup last night, then wasn't able to make it because of an allergic reaction. Willie Wilson played and had a big game. So here's Roberson, the switch hitter, with some power, especially from the left side, facing Tommy Green. And the pitch is a fastball over for a strike. He's been getting ahead of a lot of hitters with first ball fastballs.
Roberson 1 for 7 pitch inning with a homer and 2 RBIs.
That homer was a game winner against Lee Smith of the Cardinals.
Not bad. Pretty good guy to hit it off. I heard you guys mention Lonnie Smith was moved today, huh?
Baltimore.
Wow.
And Glenn Davis released. He did not hold up on it. And Tommy Green gets another strikeout. That is number 8 for Green. He struck out a career high 11 his last time out.
Green has had great location all night. You can see this ball put on the outside part of the plate, running a little bit away from Roberson. And he could not hold up, as Chris said. You know, that's just great location by Green.
Tommy Green with that winning percentage, tops in the league. He's trying to win his 14th game tonight, which would be a career high. Tommy is 9-0 in 14 games here at the Vet, 19-6 lifetime coming into tonight's game.
And like I said last night, winning pitchers are just like real estate transactions. It's location, location, and location. And if you can put it where you want, you're going to win a lot of games.
Especially with his stuff. 2-1. Dwight Smith, the leadoff man, is 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts and a ground out. 1 out in the 8th inning. Hit well to left. Incaviglia got a late start, now backs up, and Inky runs it down. 2 outs.
It looked at first like he didn't see that ball, Chris. He broke in and towards second base a little bit. He only got about a step or two, and then he backtracked and made the play. You see there as he has to come back quickly, but then he got a beat on it, was able to easily haul it in.
And that'll bring up Jose Vizcaino, the shortstop, 0 for 3. He has struck out twice also and flied out. So Hibbert is gone for the evening as Vizcaino gets a strike called on him. Green has been pitching him in all night. Looks like Bob Scanlon, the right-hander, will be the new pitcher. Breaking ball, and it's 0-2.
You know, in all fairness to Incaviglia, as we see Scanlon, some of those balls that are hit like that have a little bit of hang time getting the lights, and the fielder has to really wait till that ball gets out of the lights before he can pick it up.
Outside with a curveball, 1-2. Coming back in there again, and this time it's too far inside. That's the way they've been getting Vizcaino out all night. They threw a backdoor breaking ball to try and get him out inside on the next pitch. 2-2 to the shortstop. Breaking ball grounded in the hole to right and a base hit for Jose. Well, Green made one of his few bad pitches tonight. He hung one that time to Vizcaíno, who slapped it into the outfield. And that'll bring up Sandberg, 1 for 3. He's grounded out to Green, fly to right, single to left. Phillies have had no bullpen activity as of yet tonight, and at this time, there's nobody out. And now they're starting to stir around a little bit, but still nobody throwing. 5-1 Phillies in the 8th. Tommy Green, let's see the charts after this one. How many times he's thrown a first ball fastball for a strike. Best pitch in baseball.
Well, you know, it's pretty easy when you go back over your scoreboard and you're talking about how he's thrown those first pitches for strikes, and you don't see any walks. You don't see any walks. Well, there's actually one walk in the second inning, but when you don't see a lot of walks, you know that a pitcher's getting a lot of first pitches over. He's throwing a lot of strikes, making the hitter swing the bat.
Only walk tonight has scored. They have Batiste playing over near the line at third, and Stocker way in the hole, playing Sandberg to pull. A ball and a strike on Rhino. And he fired that hip out that time, trying to hit it out of the ballpark. A foul tip held on to by Dalton. 1-2. There is Batiste over, and Stocker's well over. Well, actually, he just moved back a little bit now that there are 2 strikes on Sandberg. He's playing the count and moving back towards the middle a little bit. One and 2. Fastball fouled away right side and out of play. Ryne Sandberg from the state of Washington. There's another guy from Washington, the University of Washington. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The pitch to Sandberg. High fastball, base hit, right field. So the Cubs are kicking up a little fuss here in the 8th inning. Pitch is out of the strike zone, and he goes up and hammers it to right.
Well, on the pitch before, Green tried to go up and away with the fastball, and Sandberg did a nice job of fouling it off. And here, he stayed in with that hip, and the ball was similar in the same spot, same speed. He just reached out and slapped it to right as David West now starts to loosen up a little bit.
And Larry Anderson's just about ready to join him as Johnny Padres strolls to the mound. They want to be very careful now with Mark Grace. As Gary talked about last time when Grace was up, you want to stay away from him in these situations. Tommy Green is at 126 pitches. He's probably not going to pitch the 9th inning. Pitched, he had 100, I think it was 127 to 128 in his last outing. Here is Grace, 0 for 3. And Grace will be looking for something to hammer here. Good hitter, Mark Grace. The pitch to him. Breaking ball. He tried to check. He appealed to third. Well, they started to appeal to third. And now they don't. And it's ball 1. Now they appeal. Bob Davidson asked Angel Hernandez, and he says no swing.
Never hurts to try.
Sammy Sosa waits on deck. And if Mark Grace gets on here, look for Larry Anderson to come in to pitch to Sosa. It's 2-0 to Grace. Anderson is throwing. There he is, along with West. Big spot in this ball game. 8th inning. It's to Grace. Base hit, right field. 1 run's going to score. Eisenreich cuts it off. But Grace will be held at first. Over to third goes Sandberg, and it's a 5-2 game, and you're probably going to see Larry Anderson now. Tommy Green had 2 outs and nobody on base here in the 8th inning, and then single, and the Cubs are in business.
Nice piece of hitting by Grace. He was looking for something that he could pull. He got the breaking ball down and in. Tommy got too much of the plate with that breaking ball, and as we've said all night tonight, Grace is an excellent line drive hitter, and he just slapped it to right.
And it looks like they're going to stay with Tommy Green. He has handled Sosa so far tonight. And they are way over on the line now. You saw Batiste there in that shot. Showing a lot of confidence in Tommy Green. Is the skipper. He might have swung at that. He did. Ball was almost on the ground, and Sammy Sosa chased it, and Bill Hahn calls it a strike from first base.
Sammy didn't think he did, but it's not in the rule book. But the umpires have a firm conviction amongst themselves that if the bat head crosses home plate, it's considered a strike. I guess the terminology we would use, if it crosses the plane of the plate, it is a strike. And there was no question about that one, even though it was a ball.
Well, he will chase that high fastball.
Now the question is, you know he's going after a high fastball. Do you go up the ladder with him and take a chance? Because if you miss with it, he's liable to hit it out. He has.
Or do you try and bounce a breaking ball and hope you don't hang it?
Right, 31 homer.
We'll see what they decide to do. Looks like a fastball away from the sign. It is. It's another high fastball. And he was too high, and he didn't chase it. 2-2.
I think if you're going to make a mistake, you want to make it with your best pitch.
Jay Wilkins waits on deck. Left-handed hitting catcher, and West is up and ready. Another fastball. Here we go to Sosa. Just a little outside. And now the runner Grace will be off from first base on the 3-2 count, as the Cubs have everybody squirming right now.
Boy, what a time for a pitch that Sosa would come out of his shoes to try and hit.
Sandberg, the runner, at third. Grace at first. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Sammy Sosa.
And he wouldn't be expecting a changeup.
Tommy Green really overthrew that pitch. And that might just be it with Wilkins coming up. Fregosi gave him a shot, and now they're going to have to come and get him. He'll go 7 2/3 innings as he just overthrew that pitch then. And Fregosi makes the wave to the bullpen. Tommy Green does a great job tonight. 2 walks, 8 strikeouts, 7 hits, 3 of them in this inning in a row. And he leaves, and he'll get a nice hand. So Tommy Green gets a congratulations from his teammate as he gives him a strong performance tonight. Phillies still lead by 3. Cubs have them loaded. We'll be back after this.
Yeah, how far away do you think I can get in 72 hours?
I wouldn't trust my car past the city limits.
For the way you travel today more than ever, the Smart Money is on budget. Plan a great getaway by giving Budget a call. You'll get great rates on great cars. The Smart Money is on budget.
To soar with eagles, be the best. To win the industry's highest awards for quality, commit to excellence. Provide superior quality products and have the strength to offer them at more than 12,500 locations nationwide. More than any other major brand. Discover for yourself the difference quality can make. Fly with the new superpower.
New pitcher for the Phillies, the left-hander David West. And there you see the numbers on West, who's done an outstanding job for the Phillies. And here at the vet, 3-0 with a 2.31 ERA in 30 games. And the Cubs are going to make a move. They're going to take their 26 home run hitting catcher out of the ball game and bring out Glenn Allen Hill, who has done a very good job for Chicago. He is a right-handed batter. So Jim Lefebvre is going to play the percentages here and bring Hill out. There are the numbers on it. Hill, as a pinch hitter, is 2 for 4 with a home run. It was a game winner off John Franco on Sunday at Wrigley Field with 2 outs in the 9th inning. Steve Lake is the Cubs' backup catcher. So the Cubs go for it here. 2 outs and nobody on base in the inning. Single, 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 and walk. The Cubs have a run in. They're loaded. And Glenn Allen Hill will bat for Rick Wilkins. Cubs giving the Phillies all they can handle in this series, as Tommy Green can only sit and watch.
Well, the Phillies have their right pitcher on the mound. West has had a stellar performance, especially here at the vet.
And he will work from the stretch. The on-deck batter is another right-handed batter, Steve Buechele. The pitch. High fastball. 1-0. Here's Hill with the Cubs. He's hit 5 homers. Coming over from Cleveland for Candy Maldonado a few weeks ago.
West this year in the vet is 3-0 with a 2.3 ERA in 39 innings.
1 ball, no strikes. Trying to chase a low fastball. In a danger zone, though, down and in. When Allen Hill, formerly in the Toronto Blue Jays organization, traded to Cleveland along with Mark Whitten. What a game he had last night. 4 homers, 12 RBIs in 1 game. The 1-1. Inside, 2-1. Here is Mark Whitten last night, second game of that doubleheader in Cincinnati. A slam and 2 3-run homers. Or 3 2-3-run homers and a 2-run homer. And he had 1 RBI in the first game.
That's a heck of a month for some guys.
Really. 2 balls and a strike on Glenn Allen Hill. No pitch to him. Fastball fouled away.
West has done a marvelous job in strikeouts this year. 79 strikeouts in 76 innings.
There's the 2-2. Bounced it up, not bounced it, but low and dug out by Dalton, so it's 3-2. Darryl Kyle with a no-hitter for the Houston Astros. And the Mets have a run. Fine young pitcher for Houston. Here we go. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Everybody will be running. The pitch from West. Fouled away. Phillies lead the game 5-2, hanging on here in the 8th inning. Looked like it was going to be a no-brainer here in the 8th. 2 outs and nobody on, and then all kinds of trouble. Sandberg at third. Grace at second, Sosa at first, and time was called. A little late. West was ready to fire.
Well, did Hill call timeout, or did Bob Davidson just jump out because that moth was flying around there?
No, Hill, he asked for time. And he gave it to him. Balls and 2 strikes. There he goes, and it's popped up foul out of play. All the runners off. And Allen Hill really battling David West. He walked him. And it's a 5-3 ball game, and Buechele, who's a very dangerous hitter, will bat. Glenn Allen Hill gets credited with a run batted in. Fergosi's coming out. And Larry Anderson, who we've been talking about has been warming up, is going to get the call. It is September, and these games get tenser and tenser as you get into the month of September. And we got another one going here tonight. Anderson will be coming on, and David West will leave. And we'll be back after this.
When you work one job, grab a quick lunch, a quicker dinner, and move on to job number 2. How you gonna spell relief? That's a big relief you can feel, because Rolaids absorbs 47 times its weight in excess stomach acid to stop heartburn fast. So for millions, there's only one way to spell 100% relief. Rolaids spells 100% relief.
Yeah, you were right, Judd. There's no beach traffic.
Easy. I went out. There's a Coke machine.
Man, I'm so hot.
You certainly are.
Hot as in sweaty.
Hey, so crank on the AC.
Air conditioning is for the weak, like yourself.
I'm sticking to the seat like yourself.
That
Please
dog is
don't.
moving faster than we are.
All you guys ever do is complain.
Your shoes are pretty.
Could someone please fan me?
No.
Coca-Cola, anyone?
Yeah.
Thank you, Alan, for serving a purpose in my life for the first time.
Like
You're very welcome.
time together.
There's Rick Wilkins right there going down to the bullpen, even though he's been pinch hit for and is out of the game.
Not a happy camper.
No, not at all. But he still has to go down and help warm up the pitchers in case the Cubs get right back in this game, get close, tied, or even go ahead.
They hit for Wilkins in this inning with the bases loaded after West came in, and Glenn Allen Hill, who hit for him, just walked, forcing a run. It's now a 5-3 game, and Anderson, there are the numbers on him. Phillies came into the inning with a 5-1 lead, 2 outs and nobody on base. Since then, 5 straight Cubs have reached base as Wilkins talks it over with Chuck McElroy. Man, I got 26 homers.
Yeah, that was a surprise move, you know.
So Anderson in a big spot. Buechele will bat. He struck him out last night, coming on in relief. And Montreal wins again as they continue to play very, very well. They sweep the Colorado Rockies. Colorado battled them pretty well in the first 2 games. However, tonight looked like an easy one. Reeder, that fine-looking left-hander, won again tonight. He is now 7-0. He has been a big part of the Expos' resurgence. Kirk Reeder, who we saw here in a business person special. Here is Buechele. Bases loaded, 2 outs, 2 runs in. Anderson works from the stretch at all times, and the pitch to Buechele is strike 1 call.
A lot of moss flying around here tonight. Something going on in the air I don't know about?
Slider misses away, 1-1.
That was slider A. Anderson has an assortment of sliders. Slider 1, 2, 3, and 4.
We'll continue to try and stay away from Buechele. And there is a base hit. This game's going to be tied. Boy, the Cubs are really giving the Phillies fits in this series. They scored 4 runs in this inning with 2 outs, and it's a tie ball game, and they're still in business. Buechele just kind of inside out of that ball to right field. So Tommy Green winds up with a no decision out of this outing.
Buechele does a great job on this one. That slider catches the center of the plate, and all Buechele tries to do is go the other way with it. And the diving Jordan has no chance whatsoever. And like you said, we're all tied.
And here's Willie Wilson. 4 runs with 2 outs in the 8th inning, and we have a tie ball game. And now they have to get Wilson out to keep it a tie game. Here's the pitch to him. High with a fastball, ball one. On deck is Kevin Roberson, who started the inning by striking out as a pinch hitter. There he is.
He'd probably like to get one more crack at somebody. What you think?
Over for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike on Roberson. Foul. Phillies in the 8th inning have Incaviglia due to bat, then Eisenreich and Stocker. And then the pitcher spot comes up. And Bob Scanlon will be the new pitcher. As the Cubs have batted around here in the 8th inning, a ball and 2 strikes to Willie Wilson. Here's the pitch to him. Inside, 2-2. Chicago's been a hot club. They've won 5 in a row. Here we go. There's a little bat handle pop-up. I don't think they'll get anybody. Look at this. Wow. That wasn't hit far enough to get anybody out.
Oh, my goodness.
So they're loaded.
And of course, Wilson still can kick out in those afterburners, even though he's 37 years old. Look at this pitch. You see how he looks up, go, oh, I just got the heck jammed out of me, but nobody can make a play.
So the baseball gods are not smiling on the Phillies here in the 8th inning. Having one of those innings. And they are still in trouble. 7 straight batters have reached base. And Kevin Roberson has them loaded. Still 2 outs. Been 2 outs for a long time. And the pitch. Strike called. 5 games, identical totals, 5, 9, and 1.
Well, Tommy Green's masterpiece just went right out the window as we look at a tied ball game.
Roberson beats it foul first base side, hops into the crowd. So it's 1-2 now on Kevin Roberson, a switch hitter. And he stays alive, fouling one back. The Phillies really on the ropes right now in a tie game, and they're still loaded. Anderson trying to get the final out of the inning. The pitch. Fly ball left field. Incaviglia, a long run near the wall, and he can't make it. He missed the ball, and 3 runs are going to score, and the Cubs are going to lead at 8-5, and it is one of those innings. Wow. And Incaviglia might be hurt.
You know, the outfield turf is very wet. It rained very hard here all afternoon. Incaviglia might have slipped as he reached up for this ball. Pitch was a fastball on the outside part of the plate. You see Incaviglia going back. It looks like he has turf shoes on. You can see he jumped up, and it looks like as he jumped up, he hit the back of his heel on the fence, and the ball kind of carried away from him a little bit.
And they're going to score at a 3-run triple. The ball just fades away from him as he retrieves. He just went too far to the right and then smokes the wall. Jeff Cooper, the Phillies trainer, is going out to see if he's all right, but what a disaster this inning's been. So the Phillies are in a funk right now, and that makes it official, that play. Now Fregosi goes out to take a look at Incaviglia, who they can ill afford to lose. And he is really hobbling.
Well, he's going to come out.
Yep, he's got to leave this game. Oh, my. That's bad. So Incaviglia will leave, and the Cubs have a 7-run inning here in the 8th inning and lead it 8-5, all with 2 outs, as we have said over and over.
Take one more look at Incaviglia going back. You see all of a sudden now he realizes the ball has drifted a little bit back towards the center field area.
Oh, and he turned that right ankle when he fell there.
Crashed right into that padded fence, and you're right, he did turn the ankle.
And Milt Thompson will come into the game to replace Incaviglia in left field. There's Milt. And look at that inning. 7 runs with 2 outs. Incaviglia just now making it to the Phillies dugout. Now, this is a tough one tonight. You know, the Phillies have been going along here with the Expos gaining some ground on them, kind of shrugging it off, and tonight hurts, as they still have 2 more at-bats and are going to have to come back. Expos have already won their game as they swept Colorado. They do not play tomorrow night. And then the Reds come in to face them over the weekend while the Astros come here. Phillies will play the Cubs 1 more tomorrow night. And here is Dwight Smith. He made the 2nd out of this inning a long, long time ago.
What really hurts is the fact that you don't know how bad that ankle is for Incaviglia.
Strike 2 call to Dwight Smith. 8 runs, 10 hits, and an error now for the Cubs. 5-9-1 for the Phillies. And it's finally going to be over. Stocker throws out Dwight Smith, and what a horrendous inning. 7 runs, 6 hits, no errors, and 1 left. We go to the bottom of the 8th, and there you see it.
Hazy sunshine this afternoon, high close to yesterday's 96 downtown.
What's wagging? Big 4 again. Usual number. Straight. And box it, too. 50 cents each way.
The Pennsylvania Lottery's Big 4 game.
Who says you can't teach an old dog new tricks?
Don't forget to play both ways every day. You might be the lucky dog who wins.
This house is you, Boomer. And the owners aren't anxious to sell.
I'm on this lake. And I'm standing up. No chair, man. Sky, a beautiful blue all around me. And I'm standing on the water. But I'm dancing, see? And that's the only way I can stay up is do this dance. And I know that as soon as I quit, forget it, that's it.
The winner of the 1992 Sundance Film Festival Audience Award, The Water Dance.
The official 1993 Phillies gift and souvenir catalog, courtesy of Kellogg's, is now available. The catalog features all your favorite Phillies items, including jackets, jerseys, t-shirts, caps, and much, much more. You can get the catalog free. Call the Phils at 463-1000 and ask for a Phillies souvenir and gift catalog. Changes for the Cubs after that big inning they just had. Roberson will play left field. He had 2 at-bats in that inning. Started it with a strikeout, and they got a 3-run triple, and the ball Incaviglia didn't catch. Lake will now move in and catch as they hit for Wilkins, and the new pitcher Dan Plesac, who's been in all 3 games in this series. So the Phillies, who led 5-1 going into the 8th inning, now trail at 8-5 as that inning just exploded in their face.
All with 2 outs.
So here's Milt Thompson, who just replaced Incaviglia. Thompson, Eisenreich, and Stocker, a couple of left-handed hitters to start off the inning. And then the switch hitter, Stocker. Phillies are very left-handed off the bench tonight because of the left-hander starting by the Cubs. So would make sense to bring a left-hander into the game. Thompson, the deep right center field, long run, Sosa and Wilson. Willie Wilson's there. He runs it down, 1 away. Sammy Sosa had a beat on this, as did Willie Wilson, who catches it from the center field position. And Eisenreich will bat for the first time. He came in to replace Wes Chamberlain. Very quiet here right now, kind of a stunned silence as Eisenreich tries to check and does.
And you know, you think back to that little bloop fly behind Anderson that Wilson hit.
Sure. A lot of things happen in that inning that you'll look back and say,
At least you could have gotten out of the inning with the score tie.
You kid around about the baseball gods when they start to look down their nose at you, and it's happening right now. Phillies looked like they were cruising towards a nice easy win tonight, led by Lenny Dykstra and Tommy Green, and boom, and give the Cubs a lot of credit because they have nothing to gain right now in this season except maybe keep their manager's job for them, and they are about to have a chance to win their 6th game in a row, fouled out of play, and move to the 500 mark.
It's a good point. There was a lot of speculation around the All-Star break about the possibility of Jim Lefevre being in a little bit of trouble. Comments made by the Cubs general manager. Probably shouldn't have made him, but he did. He got caught with them, then he had to come up with something else. Of course, you know what happens. They can't fire the players.
Nice play by Plesac, and he'll throw him out. Fine play by the pitcher. Plesac's an excellent fielding pitcher. We had a note on him last night where he had made his first error since July 8th of '87, snapping a 310-game errorless streak. That came on July 27th, and you see why there.
Yeah, well, don't forget, he's 6'5". Get up there pretty good.
Stocker, the batter. 1 for 2 tonight. A single, run scored, and a walk. We are in the bottom of the 8th, 8-5 Cubs. Todd Pratt moves into the on-deck circle to bat for Anderson. That's Sean Bosky up in the bullpen for Chicago. And the Phillies are getting activity in their bullpen. There is Pratt. Fouled away. Kevin Foster, the young pitcher who's not had a chance to pitch yet in the major leagues, and Roger Mason up for the Phillies. Two balls and 2 strikes now on Stocker. And a full count to Kevin. Just trying to get something started with 2 outs. The Cubs got 7 runs with 2 outs in the top of this inning. But you can feel it. The Phillies are back in their heels after that inning. That'll do it to you.
Yes, it did.
Here's a 3-2 to Stocker. He grounds one toward short. Vizcaíno, an easy play, throws him out. 3 up and 3 down. They go in the 8th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. And we go to the 9th inning. 8-5 Cubs.
To Texaco Food Mart's
Peace Talks Alive. Radical groups opposed to an Israeli PLO peace plan can...
Cereals, nice people.
You challenged him.
Art Howe looking on at his big right-hander. And the 2-1 pitch. Foul out of play. 2-2.
The fans not into this as much as you would expect. There's a little bit of clapping, but we'll see if he gets the next out if they get on their feet here in the dome.
I mentioned back in '86 the last no-hitter thrown by an Astro, Mike Scott against the Giants.
The bench kind of quiet for Houston. Anxious.
2-2 pitch. Strike 3. Kyle 1 out away from a no-hitter.
He gets his 8th strikeout. We said it earlier, Francis. Tough to take anything close with 2 strikes. That was that never say die breaking ball of his that just kept coming.
An exciting moment for this guy and his teammates. You think they're keyed up defensively? How about Scott's service?
A couple of guys making novenas that it doesn't come to them.
Chico Walker the bat. Strike 1 on a breaking ball.
Well, that has been his dandy today. He has used it a lot to get ahead of the hitters.
The 0-1 pitch. A lot of umpires here tonight.
Especially right now.
Just what the Mets need this season. A no-hitter thrown against them. 1-1 pitch. Strike 2.
Not a lot of movement in there. There's not a lot of cheering. You just can't believe it. Fans at least are on their feet now.
A 1-2 pitch. Swinger and miss. Strike 3. A no-hitter for Darryl Kyle.
We've called a lot of things here this year, Francis. That was exciting. Some great defensive plays behind Darryl Kyle.
What a feeling. And that's his girlfriend right there. Enjoying this game tonight, I'm sure. Trying to keep herself from fainting.
She's probably the most nervous wreck in the whole dome.
What a great scene.
Darryl Kyle tosses just
Astros and pitches the first no-hitter in the National League this year. Jim Abbott pitching one in the American League just last week. And the Astros will be in this weekend. 15 wins now for Darryl Kyle. Let's see, today's Wednesday, right? Thursday, Friday, Saturday. He should not pitch in that series. That's a break. He will go after Johnny Vandermeer's record somewhere else. 1-0 to Sandberg. It is like a morgue here right now at Veterans Stadium. The people that are around can't believe what they saw, and a lot of people took a hike after it. A 7-run 8th inning to put the Cubs up 8-5. Jeff Bagwell made an error in that game, we're told, and that's the way the Mets wound up getting their run. So he pitches a no-hitter and gives up a run unearned. Does Darryl Kyle. Pitch to Sandberg is low. 3-0. Well, the Phillies get the good starting pitching tonight, and so far the bullpen hasn't been able to get it done. Although there were a succession of weird hits in that inning. Sandberg thought it was inside. And he says something to Bob Davidson, which is unusual. Sandberg got thrown out of a game this year, which is
highly unusual.
Really unusual, yeah. There goes Vizcaíno, and Sandberg fouls it to the upper deck behind home plate. Darryl Kyle, 24-year-old right-hander, retired the last 17 batters he faced. The Astros' first no-hitter since Mike Scott clinched the '86 LCS for National League Western Division Championship with a 2-0 victory over the Giants September 25th. There goes the runner again, and Sandberg takes it low. It bounces away from Dalton, but it's ball 4. So the Cubs have 2 men on here in the 9th inning with nobody out.
Mason doesn't seem like he has the velocity that it's had in the past. Is his arm bothering him a little bit? Do you know anything about that? It doesn't have good location, and the velocity is not there from the usual Roger Mason type of pitching.
Something for you. The no-hitter was the 9th in franchise history for the Astros. Now, they came in the same year as the Mets, right? In '62, as the Colt 45s, and the Mets, with that great pitching, they've never had a no-hitter.
How many of those no-hitters were from Nolan Ryan?
That game was pitched at the Astrodome. High fly ball deep right. It looks like Eisenreich has room. He does, right at the back of the track, makes the play. Tagging at second is Vizcaíno. He will go to third. So the Cubs have runners at the corners now with 1 out for Sammy Sosa. Sosa waited out a walk in the 8th inning, which was really big. He is 0 for 3 tonight with that walk and a run scored. That no-hitter against the Mets tonight, the first time they've been no-hit since August 24th of '75 by Ed Halicki. So Sosa the batter with runners at the corners. And he swings and misses. He tried to hold up and couldn't. Looks like he's practicing his golf swing.
Like a nice, smooth, easy swing, you know?
And Mason gets it over for a strike, 0-2. Waiting on deck is Steve Lake, who is now catching after Glenn Allen Hill batted for Wilkins and walked and forced in a run. No balls, 2 strikes on Sammy Sosa. Struck him out. Mason gets a strikeout, 2 outs in the inning.
There's the velocity that Mason usually throws with. Seemed like Sandberg, when he was facing Sandberg, he didn't have any velocity at all. It comes right after Sosa. It's good velocity on that slider and a good velocity on his fastball.
And Lake batting for the first time tonight. Lake played in the game on Monday and hit a home run off Roger Mason when they went back to back to back. Two outs now with runners at the corners. 8-5 Cubs were in the 9th inning. A ball and a strike to Lake. Broken bat, humpback liner right at Kim Baptiste. Cubs don't score in the 9th inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. 2 left. Last chance time coming for the Phillies. Randy Myers might be coming into this ballgame. Here he comes. And the Cubs lead it by 3.
If you want your car done right, bring it to a place that puts its money where its mouth is. Bring it to Jiffy Lube, where millions of cars every year are covered by our pledge of satisfaction.
Everybody says they'll do the job right, but at Jiffy Lube, we guarantee it. One more reason, Jiffy Lube is America's favorite oil change.
We got experience at Jiffy Lube.
There are certain chores you would only ask a diesel to handle. That's about to change. Drivers of full-size pickups pretty much know what they're in for. That's about to change.
It's a free back-to-school backpack. Compliments of Campbell Soup when the Phillies play the Houston Astros Sunday, September 12th at 1:35. Backpack, baseball, and the Broad Street Bombers. All right. Call 463-1000 now.
This is the story of a father and son.
Don't go soft on me, man. Now, I know you got a kid and all, but you're still Deuce, ain't you?
It's a story of loyalty divided between violence and love.
All I want is my boy. I'm your daddy, Jimmy.
And the new pitcher for the Cubs is the left-hander Randy Myers, coming into game number 62. He saved the first 2 games in this series, and with a 3-run lead, he has a chance to save another one. He has pitched very, very well. They're using him a lot in this series. He pitched on Monday night 1 inning. Last night, or check that, on Monday night, he went an inning and 2/3. Last night, 1 inning, and they want him to go 1 tonight and wrap it up. Ruben Amaro will come out and bat for Mason. And then the top of the order, Lenny Dykstra and Mariano Duncan. As the Phillies in danger of losing their 3rd straight at home, which is almost unheard of for them. And seeing their lead shrink to 6.5 over Montreal. Still 7, though, in the loss column for the Expos idle tomorrow night in the Phillies playing. Here's Ruben, just back from AAA, where he had a very good year at Oklahoma, or at Scranton Wilkes-Barre. That's how you get ready for a game, huh?
That's it. You notice that wind holding me back. Otherwise, I'd have really been breezing through there.
Pretty still about that time of the day, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's still raining.
Like an Energizer bunny. Look at you.
Yeah, I ran around about 12 times. I was headed for 15, but couldn't quite make 15 today.
The 0-2 to Amaro. Pop up second base. Right there, Ryan Sandberg, and he squeezes it 1 away here in the 9th. Last time the Phillies have lost 3 straight games here at home was against Houston last year, August 21st through the 23rd, when the Astros swept the 3-game series. Look at all those no-hitters. That's amazing. When you consider that, as I said, they came in the same year as the Mets, and the Mets, with all that great pitching, never have had a no-hitter pitch for them.
I was part of the 81 one when Ryan facing the Dodgers. Dusty Baker making the last out.
9 no-hitters for an expansion team.
Yeah, look at the names on there.
Don Wilson with a couple. Well, he could fire.
Both the ball. Durker could throw hard. Wilson threw hard. Ryan threw hard.
Here's Lenny Dykstra, who looked like he was going to be the hero of this game. 2 big hits tonight. Singling in a run in the 2nd, singling in 2 more in the 6th, giving the Phillies a 5-1 lead, but they coughed that one up, and now they trail at 8-5 with a 1 out in the 9th inning, in danger of losing this 3rd straight. sprained left knee for Pete Incaviglia. We'll keep our fingers crossed that Incaviglia isn't hurt for long. Phillies don't need to start picking up these injuries all of a sudden. Dykstra fouls it away out of play left side. Two balls and 2 strikes now on Lenny. Struck him out looking. 2 outs. Good pitch by Randy Myers, and he knew it.
Very good pitch. You know, Jim Lefebvre, as you mentioned, is going with a very hot hand. The Cubs have not had a good win streak all year long. They've won a couple, lost a couple, lost 2, won 1, won 2, lost 1, lost 2, you know, like that. And so with this win streak going on, Lefebvre wants to go with his #1 guy. If he's got to use him tomorrow night, he will.
And if they win this game, it would be their longest winning streak of the year as Billy Connors looks on with Jim Lefebvre trying to get rehired for next year as Lefebvre.
You know, there's a lot of speculation that Billy Connors might just go right up to the highway here to New York. He's a very good friend with Dallas Greens. He's worked with Dallas Green before. There's a lot of speculation that Mel Stottlemyre will leave the Mets next year, join Davey Johnson over at Cincinnati. So Connors has done a pretty good job with his pitching staff, considering the injuries and the lack of performance by Morgan.
Swing and a miss by Duncan on a good breaking ball from Randy Myers, and the count is 1-2. So the Phillies 1 out away from a very, very tough loss. 1 strike away. Looper into center field. Long run, Willie Wilson. He can't get it. So Duncan keeps it alive. It bounces away from Wilson, and Mariano moves into second base. And it will be a double for Duncan, his 3rd hit of the game, and Ricky Jordan will bat. So the Phillies are still alive. Wilson playing really deep with 2 outs.
And he tried to keep the ball in front of him, but he let it bounce off his right hip. He thought the ball would take a lot higher hop than that.
Kim Batista's on deck. He is batting in the spot vacated by Dave Hollins when Kim came into the game for defense in the 8th. That was when the Phillies had their 5-1 lead. Ricky tonight 0 for 4. He started the ball game. Fouled away. Duncan, the runner at second base with 2 outs. 1-1 on Ricky Jordan. Good look past Batista. Aaron Dalton due to bat. Randy Myers behind the mound now, trying to get the mud out of his cleats. He's still walking around back there. Here he comes. Myers with a career high 41 saves, looking for 42, and it's low and outside. 2-1. Jordan tried to check and couldn't. And it's a strike, says Bob Davidson. Does not ask for help from Bill Hahn. He had it all the way. 2-2. Duncan's run really doesn't mean much. Phillies need 3 to tie. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Grounded towards second. Mr. Automatic Sandberg. Tough play for him, and he got him by a step. Great play by Ryan Sandberg to end the game. And the Phillies take a very tough loss, as Harry Carey tells his national audience, Cubs win! And the Phillies lose this one by a score of 8-5. A very, very tough loss tonight. There are the final totals on the game, and Randy Myers picks up his third consecutive save. Back with more after